early. I wanted to just do some quick announcements this morning. I hope everyone is well and you slept good. Hubby will be on in a few minutes. I told him he has a few minutes and then he can come on and join us. All right. So, this morning I just wanted to let you guys know if you are interested in Fumba Town. I am the. Oh, wait. Okay, he is here. Okay, he early, guys. All right. So I'm gonna have my guest come on in since he is early. We'll do the announcements later. All right. Good morning. Hey, hello.
Can you guys hear me? All right.
Good
It's
morning.
good afternoon. Can y'all see Adrian right there?
Hey, I gotta go get hubby. I didn't know you all don't play the radio. Y'all real early.
Well, I was really when I saw the email, I was just like, okay, let me make sure everything because we've had internet issues for the last 2 days over here in our area of town. The internet was out, so we
Okay.
had all day Saturday and then all day today. We like literally just got the internet back, and I was like, well, let me check. If not, I was going to have to run to the coffee shop and do it at the coffee shop.
Oh well, everything is clear. You all look clear. You look great.
Good, good,
So
good, good,
we're
good.
good. We're
Thank you
good.
so much.
So if
And
y'all,
you go ahead and do your announcements. Go ahead
yeah,
and do your
you
announcements.
should.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, because I'm giving hubby a little bit of time. He in the back.
No
Okay.
problem.
All right. So if you all are interested in Fumba Town, definitely contact me. You will send me an email at businesswomen1 at AOL.com. I'll make sure I leave the details in the description box. Again, if you're interested in investing or if you want to live in Fumba Town, which is Zanzibar, the east side of Africa, definitely let me know. I am an ambassador with them. Okay. Also, guys, with that being said, if you have not got a copy of my book, The Husbands I Thought I Found, what are you waiting for? Go ahead. I think my ring light is in the way. Go ahead and purchase a copy of my book. This is how it looks. It's available on Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, Exebris.com. And if you're not into going through the internet, you can also call and place your order as well. Again, I will leave those details in the description box as well as the comment pendant notes section. All right. Also, I have a store. It's called Rodraccastyles online. If you like to purchase anything on my website, you can go over and purchase something. If you want anything custom made, just again send me an email with all the information exactly what you would like. I'm going to show you one of the shirts that I made. This is it right here. Juneteenth, Freedom Day. I made this for myself. So yeah, definitely support me. I greatly, greatly appreciate it. All right. That's pretty much it, guys. All right. So I'm gonna tell Hubby to come on. Except
Take
for
y'all time.
you
As
sure?
you can
Oh,
see, we are relaxing. We drove
I
to
see that.
Soweto today. And if you don't live in Johannesburg, you don't know how big this city actually is. So
I know.
that's like a 40-minute drive from where we live. And then we had to wait in the restaurant for them to get us some seats. So we thought a quick lunch run, yeah, it turned into basically an all day experience because then we had
Oh
to drive
wow.
40 minutes back. Yeah,
Wow.
but
Yeah.
hey,
It. Y'all have like, oh my goodness, so many places to go. I don't think you're ever gonna get bored.
not here.
Mm-mm.
No, no.
Perfect timing. Hubby came in. We early. We just waiting on you. Yeah, we just waiting on you. I'm fashionably late. No, you early. They chilling as you can see. You'll see in a minute.
Right.
Yeah, I'm laid back.
Hey, how y'all doing, family?
See,
All
look.
right.
Peace, brother. How you doing, brother?
Yeah, we broadcasting live from Babylon 1.0. Yeah, hey, y'all get here
Yeah.
scoop. We still over here stranded.
Not for too long, I hope.
Not too long. And listen, there's a movement taking place. All this time we've been traveling and technically we've been expats now for going on 6 months. And someone on Facebook said, Doc, you're not a part of the Black expats group, black expats all over the world group. I said, no. She said, you need to join. And then she hooked me up, like she invited me to join, whatever. There's 23,000
Really?
members of this group. And these black folks all over the world. I'm talking about they in Germany, they are in Lisbon, they are in all over Africa. I saw someone in Tanzania, someone in Ghana, another. I made a post and the sister jumped on. She said, "Oh, I'm in Joburg too." I said, "Oh, all right." So, so I just want to warn the people: when you got 23,000 people that are just in one Facebook group, you have to know there's probably double that who are out. And when we start hitting 100,000 people and all that stuff, next thing you know, your passport gonna cost you $750. Next thing you know, right? You know what I'm saying? Next thing you know is if you got a speeding ticket, you can't get a passport, right?
Yeah, they just like they say quadrupled the to renounce your citizenship it costs, which I didn't know it costs.
Yeah.
They like quadrupled the price.
Yeah, because they got to keep you on that tax base. So as long as you are like working, I guess, virtually from the United States and you're still paying taxes, they probably they don't care too much. But when you start saying I married a citizen in Ghana and now I have my Ghanaian citizenship and I don't need that blue passport anymore, it's gonna start being some problems. So I'm telling my people, start planning now. Get your passport. Start saving you some money. Not that you have to automatically leave, but if just in case something goes bad and you decide, hey, I've had enough. And then I'm gonna tell you another thing that I saw. It's people of all ages, 23, 24 years old that left the United States. Then there's people as old as 60 or 70 that have left the United States. And some have been gone 5 years, some gone 2 years, some gone a couple of months like us. But all I'm saying is start preparing. I know that 40 million black people in the United States will not be able to leave the United States. That's unrealistic. And on top of that, where we gonna go? Right? But for those, Buju Banton had a song, and in that song he says, those who can afford to run will run. But what about those who can't? They will have to stay. And that's kind of the harsh reality of it. So some people about the passports more so because one knows it can happen no matter how unreal it sounds. Yes, we know it can happen. Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
I mean, let me tell you something. After the civil rights movement and the signing of the Voting Rights Act, I believe that was 65 or 68. I don't know what year it was, but it was before Dr. King died, or maybe right after that. 68. Maybe it was right after Dr. King died. People said, "Oh, we have the right to vote in the South. We have the right to vote all over the country. We don't have to worry about poll tax. We don't have to worry about reading exams at the tax." You know what they did? They started criminalizing black men and then taking your right to vote away when you got a felony charge. So just in Louisiana, about 2 years ago, maybe 3, we felons just got the right to vote back. So they literally took your rights from you, right? So yeah, I mean,
well, hold on. Did they have a Sunday control?
Oh yeah.
Hey, I'm just letting him take over. Do your thing, man.
I'm sorry. Might be some music you want to play. I'm sorry.
Well, I know. Speaking on the rights, getting your rights restored as a felon, I know it's a big movement here in Florida that they tried that. I forgot they put some kind of title on it, and this governor we got is
DeSantis. He say, boy, between DeSantis and the Texas boy Abbott. I don't know, man, boy. Them people make Trump look like a party boy.
Right?
Say that again.
Studies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I saw that.
on his
Yeah,
channel. Yeah.
yeah. So that should tell you it all. They got all these other
Yeah.
cultural groups, European AP studies, Asian AP studies. Out of all
Out of
these
all the
groups, you
ones,
picked us specifically.
exactly,
If they ain't racist, I don't know what racism
exactly.
is.
If our people
Well,
don't
I
wake
mean,
up, they're not gonna wake up at this point.
the thing about it is like, so locally in New Orleans, there was last week they had this big old city council meeting on crime, because as y'all know, I often talk about crime is out of control in New Orleans, and if
Right.
New Orleans was on the African continent, they would say it was a war-torn country. They would say it was war-torn,
Yeah.
right? Because of the level of violence. They shooting on interstate. All that. So they had the city council meeting, and some of these activists started hollering and screaming at the city council, hollering and screaming at each other, calling each other the N-word, cursing each other out. And so my point of bringing this up is that I made a statement that, hollering and screaming and cussing will not change the minds of our enemy, nor will logical arguments change the mind of our enemy. So we are in a no-win situation. You can't appeal to their emotion, and you can't appeal to their logic. And ultimately the question is this: if white people have created a society and a country that will not only privilege them, but their great, 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 great grandchildren will be privileged behind a society, what motivation and what incentive do they have to look at Black people and say, we're going to make this society equal? Why would they do it?
Right.
What you understand the point I'm trying to make?
Yeah.
They have no reason to say, hey man, let's have an equal, fair, and just society. And the truth is, would you? If I was in white folk position, would I be like, yeah, I'm gonna take the privilege away from my great grandchildren to make it equal for everybody else? I just don't know if I would. So Black people in America are in a very tough and precarious situation that they either have to accept their second-class citizenship or they have to leave. That's really where you are.
And they know that, like, out of all the groups here, we the most likely to fight back.
Yes.
These other people fit right in, and they'll go along with get along.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much it. So that's why they constantly single us out.
Oh yeah.
And we were just talking yesterday. I was telling her, I said, if we weren't God fearing, try to get kumbaya, get along with everybody, it would be something else if we weren't the type of people that we are.
Yeah. And they made us those type of people, though. They gave us an interpretation of the Christian Bible that made us turn the other cheek, love our enemies. And I'm gonna tell you, people say, Doc, what made your daddy a preacher? Why you became Muslim? Because I read the Quran where it said, fight those that fight you. I said, that's a smart man's religion. That's intelligent. Let me go on. Let me go and enjoy this religion. I've had a tough time with that turn the other cheek. I've had a tough time with that. I don't know.
Yeah, don't let nobody run you over, pretty much.
Yeah, exactly.
And we only turn the other cheek with white people. In our communities, we don't turn the other cheek with each other.
We smash on each other quick.
Real quick.
Yeah, we will.
In LA, they go to war with Mexicans.
Right.
Gang members, so they don't turn the cheek on
Don't turn cheek with Mexicans. Did y'all hear about 10 Asians that got shot?
No, where?
In Los Angeles last night.
No,
I don't watch the news.
What happened? I'm getting it straight from you. What happened?
It looked like they were celebrating maybe the Chinese New Year. Don't quote that, but there was some sort of celebration. They out in the street. Somebody opened fire, killed 10 people, and who knows how many others was shot. And this is what I'm saying. This level of, we just remember last year when the white boy went into the store and killed all our elders. He killed. How many people he shot? Was it 10 or 15?
Buffalo, New York.
Yeah, Buffalo, New York. Yeah, he might have hit 20. I don't know, but it was a whole lot of people that he shot and killed. Like, yeah, there's violence here in South Africa. There's violence in Johannesburg.
But nothing like that, probably.
Yeah, the level of violence that we have come to accept as normal. We have become well adjusted to
Right.
injustice and maladjusted behavior. You know, I was talking last night. We were at dinner, and there's a guy from New Orleans who's in town, and he was like, "Man, when I come into the city, because he lives in the suburbs, he's like, when I come in the city, literally every other day they're shooting on the interstate, so." Like I have to duck down. You know, he's like, I'm ducking because there's people shooting on the interstate. I told him, I said, man, you know, one day when I was still living in New Orleans, I got off of work probably about 4 o'clock. I said, I need to stop over here at Walgreens, get me something to eat, get me something to drink or whatever have you, and give me something to snack on. And when I pulled up into the Walgreens parking lot, there's a man sitting there, he just gotten shot 2 or 3 times in the head, and they was holding his body. But here's what I'm saying. That's horrible enough. But you know what I did? I went to Walgreens and got what I needed to get.
Right.
That's how much we have learned to accept
Yeah.
death.
Yeah, we conditioned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Deal with it.
It's sad.
Yeah, because I've seen a lot of that around me just growing up. It got
Yeah.
I mean, when I changed environments, you know, because I made a little money or whatnot, I was able to see a better way. But just from a child up to like teenager, it was crazy, man. And then I'm in that age group where this crack epidemic thing was in full.
Yeah.
Where I was at.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So,
How old are you? About 42, 43?
47. So you
All right,
talking?
I'm 43.
Old man.
Yeah.
Old man.
Yeah,
I'm just kidding.
you talking about people walking around looking like the living dead. You know how the cocaine have. It just had us messing.
Man. Well, let me tell you this. So I'm 43. Crack didn't hit New Orleans like it hit everybody. You know what hit New Orleans?
What?
Heroin.
Oh wow.
Okay.
And yeah, heroin was the drug of choice in New Orleans. Crack came, but nothing like heroin. And to this day, I remember, let me tell you how sick black culture is. And I don't want to be critical because I'm a black American, but this is something that's very local and local for New Orleanians. They had a song that they used to play on the radio by a group called Partners in Crime. And the song said, "Give me some heroin, baby. That heroin got me crazy. Give me some powder, please.
Oh
That
wow.
powder makes me
Stop
please.
it.
I get so goddamn stiffed out. I go and grab my
On
gun,
the radio.
shoot a little bit of heroin, and
No.
that shit makes everything so fun." They played it on the radio.
Wow. That's
They
crazy.
played it on the radio. My mama heard me singing that. Huh?
It was getting heavy rotation too, I bet.
Heavy rotation. My mama heard me singing that. She said, "Boy, if you don't turn that shit off." I'm sorry, I didn't mean to curse. That's what she told me to turn that off. But they played it on the radio, and look, I'm talking about I'm 7, 8 years old. I'm 43 and I can sing it word for word. That's how much they played it. That's how much they condition our minds. And don't talk about all the other rap music. My neighborhood lady was waving a butcher knife at Walgreens pharmacy cashier. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, maybe something about Walgreens. I'm starting going CVS.
Are y'all ready to get the questions? Because we're going left. I'm like Adrian. Y'all ready?
Yeah. Okay. Oh, I forgot we had questions. I'm sorry. Yeah, go ahead. You know, I just getting it. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Hey, just having a good time. That's all.
And this way, he always give me a speech. Oh, well, now listen, we got to be off at a certain time. And guess who it always end up being?
My wife could go for 3, 4, 5 hours.
Now, why you?
I gotta run it back on.
He telling stories, y'all. You see how he got to the conversation with you? This is him. No, that's all you. He give me a whole speech, and then he end up taking over and talking.
We teammates. I'm coaching
you. No. Shame the devil.
Yeah.
I'm in a white neighborhood too, LOL, not the hood anymore.
Oh, gentrification.
Okay. Well, make sure you still got your.
You see that everywhere.
Still got that card, no matter what area you in, you know.
Don't get too comfortable.
Yeah.
But okay, guys, let's get into it. All right, could you share with us a little background of of both of y'all? Like, give us a little background, your background history.
I'm a New Orleanian, not an American. I'm a New Orleanian, and that's a
All
whole
right.
different world.
There's a difference.
Yeah. Born and raised there. My daddy was a preacher, or is a preacher, and my mama is a retired school teacher. So I grew up with a very spiritual background, a background that was um, very focused and centered on education, learning, and the love of learning. And I grew up in the Black Baptist church. And I say my Black Baptist church was not an Afrocentric church. It was a Black-centric church. So we knew about all of the civil rights leaders, Dr. King, Medgar Evers, Rosa Parks. We used to have a Black History Quiz Bowl every year from like my middle school until I graduated high school, and I left to go to college or whatever have you. So it was really a Black-centric church. We were pro-Black in that way, but not necessarily Afrocentric. So I don't recall them talking about Africa. Maybe they mentioned it, but they definitely talk about Black history and our great civil rights leaders and people in the United States, which gave me my pro-Black orientation.
Okay.
Adrian and I, well, I'll let Adrian tell her story about where she's from.
Okay, Adrian.
I grew up in San Antonio, Texas, so a little far away from New Orleans, but I have family in New Orleans. My daddy's side of the family moved there from Mound Bayou, Mississippi, which was a very popular all-Black town in the height of its day. But so I think if I didn't grow up in a pro-Black household necessarily, but my father was really proud of his family's history in Mound Bayou and was sort of the genealogist of the family. And so that was sort of my proud connection to Black America. And I was the one who introduced him to Africa.
She did.
Right. We'll talk about
on Black women.
So,
Backbone.
yeah, the Black women. So we met in undergrad at Dillard University, HBCU, Historically Black College University in New Orleans. And that was in 99, 2000, something like that. And then when we got married, well, listen, so there was a time when we were not together, where we had separated. And I graduated, I was in my whole phase. And I was,
tell the truth. Tell the truth.
I was doing all sorts of stuff. Anyway, so my line brother, I'm a member of Phi Beta Sigma fraternity. And my line brother said, man, he was on campus one day. I guess that was about 2003, 2004. He said, man, I just saw Adrian. And she's down there in New Orleans. He was on campus at Dillard. So when I reached out to her, maybe I waited a couple of weeks. I'm on social media, going to her page, trying to build up the, yeah. So I reached back out to her, and by that time she said she was in Mali, West Africa. And I'm gonna tell you, I was pro-Black. I didn't care nothing about Africa. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that's not. I was pro-Black. I talked all that Malcolm X. I talked all of that. Huey Newton is my frat brother, Black Panther Party. I talked all of that. That was my language. Oh, you got him on your shirt now?
Hey,
Stand up.
stand up and show.
Yeah, stand up. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. So that's what I was on. I was the Black person that said, man, they kidnapped us from Africa and they never come look for us. Africa, that's the stuff I used to talk about.
Right.
So she was in Africa, and I told her, I said, man, be careful, they be out there with M16s and church shoes on. You gotta
sliding and shooting, huh?
I was ignorant, look. But anyway, so she came back to New Orleans. Yeah, she came back to New Orleans. We met like the next day, I don't know, whenever she came back, and we've been together ever since. Wow. But it was her who said she had to go to Tanzania she was doing HIV/AIDS research or something like that in grad school. And she was like, she had to go there for 3 months, and she was like, you need to come. And as a New Orleanian, again, I had no interest in ever leaving my city. For what? You know, all the violence, all that. I was like, man, that's normal, and I'm good with it. But she bought me a ticket, and she had me with a layover in Egypt.
Mm.
So that's how I got to see the pyramids and ride a camel, and then because she left before me, so she was in Tanzania, and I arrived in Tanzania. And she, I was like, man, it's like Alexandria, Louisiana's country out here, man.
You was just like,
Yeah.
Yeah, it was because I had listen.
all the way to Africa complaining. It's like Alexandria.
Listen,
Yes.
I was so.
Wow.
That's how you know that people can evolve and change. You see what I'm saying? I'm telling y'all the 1,000% truth. But anyway, that's so that was our first trip to Africa, and but I say this, I told people I went to New York. I had to fly out of New York, and I went to go see the 9/11 memorial at that time, and I was in bumper to bumper traffic. The next day when I arrived in Cairo, I was in bumper to bumper traffic. And then the 2-3 days later, when I arrived in Dar es Salaam, I was in bumper to bumper traffic. And that was my first realization that we had really been lied to, right? I was in Dar es Salaam in a metropolis, a city, right? And shout out to the brother watching from Centurion.
Welcome.
Right.
Welcome.
But so yeah, and so when I got back to but let me tell you, before I left to go there, I'm talking to black folk, and they were saying, now keep in mind, Adrian was there a month before I arrived, so I know she's in an apartment, they got, you know, television, all that good stuff, right? People were asking me, you going over there, where you gonna use the bathroom? You gonna eat monkey meat and all that? And I had better sense than that. You know, my critique of Africa was not about it's not being developed or anything like. My critique was, hey, we were kidnapped. Why nobody ever came to look for us? That was really my big critique.
Okay.
But anyway, so I guess I've told a very long story about our background.
Very interesting. We had no idea.
Right? Yeah, keep it. Them, I was intrigued. I was listening.
Very too. Yeah. Adrian is so quiet. You know, no offense. You usually your voice kind of go over her, so it was really nice and refreshing to hear from our sister. And wow, I'm just amazed.
She's only quiet on camera.
Get wide open when the camera off.
No. We you know the thing about
Like I'm the talkative one. He the quiet one.
Yeah.
So I talk a lot. He quiet. So it works out. But then behind doors is different.
Now I got my now. You get me started now.
He could preach. He could preach.
All right. Can you hoop though? That's the question. Can you hoop?
I got that too. 6.
Oh yeah.
Tim, I'm all the way chill.
He's the chill one for sure.
She get mad at me sometimes. You so nonchalant, laid back at you. She get mad. Say something. She wants some emotion. Sometimes.
Yeah, talk.
I'm like, okay, you know, just chill, just relax.
You can read my hand. You can read my hand right for the next question. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see.
Let's see what we got on.
My handwriting terrible, y'all. I have doctor handwriting.
When both of you made that decision to move to South Africa, did you visit South Africa first?
Oh yeah, we had been here. We came in. Yeah, listen. We were traveling. We have a YouTube page, and the page was originally called A-Team Family Travels. It's Asad, Adrian, and our 2 boys, Austin and Aiden. Everybody named A. And it was A-Team Family Travels. And we were taking the children to Paris. They went to Spain. They went to Istanbul, Mexico, all over the world. And then we came to South Africa, and it threw everything off, because it was when we got here, we said, no, we could actually live here. We could actually see ourselves living here. But we were just visiting.
Right.
And before we technically moved, we had about 5 or 6 times, you know, within like Keep in mind, most times was within 2021. We came 3 separate times in 2021, and then again in March 2022. Right, so we spent a
And all with
significant
the
amount.
family, or was it just you and your wife?
Sometimes it was me and my wife. Sometimes it was the children. Sometimes it was our homegirl Brandy and
Yes.
her brother. Yeah. So
We brought the
Okay.
children.
yeah,
Yeah, we brought the
Wow.
children both times, and then we brought them one more
time. Yeah.
Okay. Welcome, Deborah. Welcome, welcome, everyone. I don't want y'all to think we're ignoring you because we're not. I'm trying to multitask, even with my wrist acting up. So just
I
bear with
can't
me.
see nobody. How I see the people and
Oh,
they
I'm
comment.
sorry. I gotta pull it up. I'm in here trying to multitask. So hold on just a minute. Sure.
Oh,
Right here, Deborah Green. You can see morning
yeah, I
beautiful.
can see how you doing, Deborah.
And okay, Tim said Malik family. How's Josie treating you so far?
Man, Josie is. We love it over here. I don't think I have liked the city as much ever. You know. Yeah, I like this city.
Like my hubby Rodney, you and him have the same tender 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 things
Tendencies.
on one mode, chill mode. Yeah, that's him. He chill mode. That's him.
Try to stay even.
And follow them on YouTube, guys. Definitely. We're gonna put
Thank you.
some in. Deborah Green. Hey, hey, everybody saying hi to each other. All right. So when both of you told your friends and family that you were moving to South Africa, what were their reactions?
They didn't believe us at first, especially coming from where I'm from, where people don't typically leave. We stay
Okay.
put. And so friends obviously have a different there's a different relationship with friends versus family. So friends were like, "Oh yeah, okay, that sounds cool. What make you want to do that?" Blah 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 blah.
Right.
Family, on the other hand, was like, "Oh, you ain't gonna do that. Oh, that's not. You just talking." Because we really talked about it for about 2 years before we
Right.
actually moved. You know, we talked about it all of 2020, basically all of 2021, and shoot, we didn't move until August of 2022. So we talked about it over 2 years,
Right.
right?
Mhm.
And and I think people just were hearing us, but they were not believing us, or they were hearing, but they were not listening.
Right.
And it was not until we actually put the house up for sale that people said, "Oh, this Negro serious."
Hell nah.
Oh, and then I mean, because listen, I consider myself to have a good friend group and a a pretty popular person in my city. No one threw me a going away party. If I
Wow.
said I was moving to Houston, I would have gotten a pretty large going away party, I
Right.
assume. But
Right.
I don't think people really realized that I was leaving. I kept
Wow.
saying it. I mean, I would go and visit. I'm like, y'all think I'm spending all this money getting on these
Trying
planes
to
to go over
fit
there
They thought
and
you.
not,
Yeah.
yeah, they thought I was
in.
just talking, just really like the place. So when that house went up for sale
That was
and
it.
it sold in a week, and I put it on the Facebook, that's when people start saying, "Oh, you really leaving?" When I put in my 2 weeks notice at the job, that's when people started really believing it. And I'm like, I've been telling y'all this.
For
Y'all just, yeah, we're like, yeah. But we had a situation with my mama, because my mom and daddy, they real close to my children.
yeah.
And man, one day, my mama sat me down. She must have thought I was 13 again, and what is all of this? Tony, you just sound crazy. Just stop all of that talk about leaving, and she was just going off. And a lot of that was fear, a lot of that was
Right.
anxiety, and she didn't understand.
It was in her
So
back.
I'm her baby, and I am her baby. Like I got 2 older sisters, but I'm the
Okay.
baby, and I'm the boy.
Yeah.
Oh.
So now then, my uncle is a chemist. He came from Kentucky, and he's one of the uncles I look up to. My dad is a great person, but everybody got their uncle that they look up to.
Right.
So my uncle came, and he had been to South Africa a couple of times.
Okay.
So he had this, kind of conversation with me, uh, kind of picking my brain. What you going to do? What are your plans for this? And blah 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 blah. By the time that conversation was over, he went and told my mama he got his stuff together. Audrey, don't worry about it.
Wow.
Right? So then that relieved her a little bit.
Right.
Now she talking about coming. She talking about visiting. You know,
Okay.
once she saw all the videos and she see the children doing well and the lifestyle, and
Sorry, but
now it's like
real. Right.
she's on Facebook. She follows me on Facebook, and she'll see all the comments that people leave. Like, Doc, you inspiring me. Man,
Right.
I can't wait to get out there. Blah, 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 blah. So now she called and tell me, don't you come back here. You know, don't you come back. You don't have all the people follow you over there and you gonna come back. Yeah, I ain't gonna come back, Mom. I'm gonna stay out here.
I love it.
You think she hop on that plane?
He said she
Say
gonna
what?
Huh?
He said she gonna
Say
come.
that again.
Now I said, you think she'll hop on that plane?
Well, so she's 83. My parents are old. So she has to go to the doctor and she going to the doctor in February. And if the doctor says he clears her to fly, then she says she will come. She doesn't have a passport. My mom has only flown twice in her life. This is what I'm saying. This is the type of people I come from. Educated, middle-class black folk, but my mom has never been out of the country. My daddy left the country to go to Vietnam War, not to explore anything. He was fighting and shooting. You understand? So, so neither one of them have passports. But if the doctor clears her, she will. My mama's not gonna say she's gonna do something, not gonna do it. So if the doctor says she can come, she's gonna be on the plane and she'll come over.
I hope she get
clear. Happy day, man.
Yes, girl. She might get over there and she might not want to come back.
That's why I keep telling you. It's a different life.
More likely she gonna see what y'all see.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Read before Adrian speak. I want to read what Shoebarb said. Dr. Side is a good storyteller. Yes, he is. I just looked at a documentary called Descendants on Netflix. It was really good. Okay.
Absolutely. That's about the Cotilda.
That's about
the Cotilda.
The Cotilda.
The last slave ship that came into the United States. It was an illegal slave ship, and it docked in Alabama in a place they call now Africa Town. And those descendants, his name was Kojo Lewis was his name. He was like the patriarch of that town, and he came from Benin. But so those are like a group of African Americans who can not only point to their ancestor, they can point to exactly where they came from in Africa, in Benin. So this is after the abolishment of slavery. The abolishment of, like, they got pictures of Kojo.
Oh wow!
They got pictures of him. They got his voice. Like this is. So these people, and I think it was 112 slaves that they brought in, and they landed in Alabama, and the place that they now call Africa Town. I've known about Africa Town my whole life because you got to pass through it, damn near, to get to like Pensacola and all. Like if you're trying to go to the Panhandle of Florida, you got that. You pass through Alabama, and you can see the sign that says Africa Town. And I know a guy named Huggy Bear who's a poet from there. He's from Africa Town, and he's a descendant of Kojo. I want to say Kojo, but that's the dog. Kojo, and the other. Who is the dog? Kojo. So Kojo Lewis.
Okay.
So they like. I would say they more in touch with like traditions and cultures more than the average, you know what I mean, African American, right?
Just about. I mean, because this was what, 18 maybe?
Yeah.
Like late 1800s, 18. I don't know. Don't make me lie to you and give you a date. But let me say that they got pictures of him, so it wasn't that long ago, right? They got like silent footage of him, so it wasn't that long ago. And yes, they are in kind, but you know. You can't tell the difference. They African Americans, like we all African Americans, right? And they are the descendants of slaves. So Kojo Lewis was his name.
Yeah.
All right, Adrian, tell us, how your family, your friends felt?
My family. So my friends were more. So I've been talking about moving to Africa for a very long time because of graduate school and how much time I had spent there.
Okay.
So for my close friends who've known me a long time, they were like, "Oh, it's about time. Good. I'm glad y'all found a place that y'all could agree on." So they were really supportive. My parents, I didn't really announce it.
Okay.
I just kind of, it was, but like later on, it basically was like, oh, he has this thing with the university there. We'll try that out for a year or two. I know how to, everybody knows how to communicate with their family. So I was like, just little doses, a little bit here and there. Right. But my daddy was in the military, so they had lived outside of the US, even though it was with the military. So they have a different perspective. My mom was like, oh, it'll be great for the kids. It'll be a great experience, but they're still thinking it's temporary. Like, oh, you'll spend a couple years and probably
just visiting.
Yeah. Right. And so I'm like, over time,
I ain't coming back.
Get used to it. They'll be all right, But I've lived away from home since I was 18. So they're used to not seeing me every day. They see me, once, twice a year. So it's not a big change for them. They're like, oh, okay, well, we'll see you. And, we'll see you. So it was a little different because we have a different relationship with our families. He's been very close with them, always living, where he can see them every day. Whereas I've been with them for years.
Yeah. My mom and dad lived up the street. Lived like, yeah, so we had moved far from each other. We talk to each other we still talk as often as we can. Like if I go a good 3 or 4 days without talking to my mom, at least 1865 is when it came. So if I go so let me tell you, I'll say this, 1865, keep that number. But if I go 3 or 4 days without talking to my mom, I'm gonna call. And I go look over talking to my daddy because he don't really talk too much, but my mom, I gotta talk to her. But 1865. So to tell you how close in time that is, I told you my mom was 83. Her daddy was born in 1895.
Oh.
You see what I'm saying? He was born right
too
right. So and I point that out to say that when we took our DNA, it said that you have a Nigerian relative. It told me that my Nigerian relative was born between 1890 and 1920. Now think about that. 1890 is after slavery.
Right.
1920 is just right there. So it was like that. They said it could be a grandfather, a great-grandfather, or a grandparent or a great-grandparent who was 100% Nigerian. What I'm saying is we keep talking about we've been separated from Africa for 400 years. No, slave trade started 400 years ago. Some of you Negroes just been separated from Africa for a couple of generations. Your grandmom and your especially me, right? So if my grandfather was born in 1895, ain't no telling when his people came over here. Exactly. They could have come over. His daddy could have been a slave, right?
Yeah, hit that like button, y'all. Hit that like button. Y'all hear my sis.
Yeah, she's only 25 people. I was like, what's she talking about in Africa? I got confused. But yeah, so we have we got to know that we had to put things into historical perspective. Saying that we are slavery started 400 years ago, but they were still importing slaves. Well, obviously up until 1865, right? And in the greatest scheme of history, that was yesterday. That was. Oh, you gotta go.
Go to the restroom. Sorry, y'all.
Oh, okay. We're gonna take a break. Commercial break.
Keep talking.
But yeah, so that was just that in terms of 1865, that was just yesterday. The civil rights movement was just this morning. You follow what I'm saying in terms of if we would have placed it in history on a timeline or a clock, I should say. So yeah, we are much closer to Africa and than many of us suspect and understand. But Africa Town, there's also, I don't know how many people are familiar with the Geechee Gullah people off of the coast of
South Carolina, right?
Down in South Carolina, and they go all along those islands all the way to Florida.
Right.
And those people are African American because they're citizens of the United States, but a lot of them they formed these maroon colonies where they ran away from slavery. Some were on these islands where they were separated from the mainland, and they had a lot more freedom to practice traditions. So they speak a certain type of pidgin English, which is a mixture of, it sounds like broken English, but at the same time, there's words that come directly from the continent that they use. There's practices that they use, and oddly enough, they share a very strange similarity with New Orleans, because they too have a form of gumbo that they eat. They too have a form of jambalaya or jollof rice that they eat, right? And even their broken English sounds very familiar to the New Orleans ear. It's not the same accent, but we understand that kind of like linguistic combination of American and Afro tongues, So
Yeah, I saw
man,
a documentary where they was basically going through not all of the history of the Geechee people, but they mainly was talking like they trying to take the island from the people, basically.
yeah.
Taxes and gentrification. I don't know if you caught that one. But,
Yeah, man. That's an island, man. The people got islands in the water. Don't you know white people love to have a beachfront home on the island?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a gold mine as far as real estate. So
exactly.
Yeah.
But what you gonna do?
Yeah. They raising the taxes. You can't afford the taxes.
They're gonna put you out. And in 10 years, they're gonna have a resort. You be like, man, y'all heard about that new resort in South Carolina? It's a new island. If you a new island, they built it. Yeah, it's gonna be. Yeah, that's what's gonna happen. But that's what I'm saying. For Black people, you gotta. Eventually, it's gonna come down to a choice you're gonna make. Accept what they're gonna do to you, or don't.
Exactly.
And the only way you cannot accept it is to pack your bags and go.
That's right.
If you want to stay, it's fine. I understand. Everybody, there were slaves who wanted to escape the plantation, and the man said, "I can't leave because my wife is gonna be here.
Right.
I can't." Woman said, "I can't leave. My mother's gonna be here.
Right.
I can't leave for various reasons. I'm trying to reunite with my children, and I know they right up the road, and I'm still able to see. So I can't escape." And I understand that. So, but they had to understand that since they could not escape, they had to accept their reality as being a slave.
Right.
Black Americans are going to have to accept their reality of being second class, or either that or leave. Stop complaining. Stop bothering them white people. The white people tired of y'all. Stop bothering them and protesting and hollering and screaming. The people tired of y'all. The people not finna change their mind.
We got options. We got
right
now we know we have options because we didn't know. Like I said, we got our awakening when COVID hit. But when I was younger, I always felt like Florida wasn't for me. I just didn't know where. I didn't know what it was, but I just knew that this is not it. Things weren't happening for me, and I felt it, but I didn't know at the time what it was. Later on, like I said, when COVID hit, I was like, "Oh, okay, this is what it was."
And the internet is huge. Like us talking to you now, just seeing other people living, I'm like, I didn't know it was possible.
Exactly.
I started seeing that and really paying attention. I was like, damn, they can do it. I can see myself doing it too.
Exactly. We are just waiting.
That's where we at right now.
Slavery. That's true. Modern day slavery. So true.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, they can't get away with not paying you nothing. They got to change the game.
But even when they pay us, guess what? We give it right back to them.
Yeah,
that's all we do. We're giving it right back to them. We putting it in black hands and ran. What'd you say? What? Hold on. There we go.
Circulate that black dollar.
We putting black dollars back in white hands.
There you go. That's what we're doing over here.
Easily, and I'm pro reparations. But before, and I'm not gonna say this: if you get your money and give it away to the white man, that's on you. I still want my check. But I would say this: I would like to see a program that gives Black people some financial literacy. Even middle class Black folk still in debt. So you give a couple of $100,000, you give $1 million to these Negroes, and what the comedian said, they ain't gonna do nothing but make Cadillac the biggest car dealership in the country, right?
Yeah.
Well, so we got to be intelligent about, because I am pro reparation. I want to be clear about that. They owe us some money.
Oh,
Oh
absolutely.
yeah.
But at the
And
same
we've
time,
we've told everybody, just in case they do, make sure you have your your DNA and all your stuff taken it way
Yeah, 'cause
back. I have my auntie, she looking into stuff on my daddy's side because I won't get anything on my mom's side because we're Bahamian. So that's
oh yeah,
Canadian.
yeah.
So she working on stuff on my daddy's side. So I'm just giving her time because she a little older, so she's trying to find her paperwork and
Then we're
everything.
just
no,
hearing like different things, like different states doing commissions about it and all this, that, and other.
yeah,
Like for example, California,
California,
they came
Mm.
out with, well, okay, if we do pay the money out, they trying to figure out how much, and then they try
yeah,
to figure out who are we gonna give it to you just because you're black? Then they said, well, no, some white people can get in on that too.
Mm.
yeah.
Bloodline. So they decided they gonna do it on a lineage based. So
That's the way.
I'm like, well, okay, if they doing that, if that's a model, since that's the biggest state, if it's spread, okay, well maybe we need to get our facts in order. We need to find out how far back our history goes. Because most of
See,
them,
look, I think the only problem with doing it state by state is that states, we live in the United States. It's a federation of states, right? A federation where the states still have independent. It's been okay since discovering New Orleans, so we'll talk about that. Um, but these federations, meaning that these states still have autonomy. You hear them talk about states' rights.
Yeah.
So in Louisiana, I could carry a gun on the street on my side, but in New York, they can't even have a handgun, right? Because different states have different rules,
Right.
right? So what'll happen is you'll get people in California getting reparations, but what about them people you think Georgia gonna give out reparations to some black people? You think Mississippi and Louisiana,
them
Texas,
good old boys.
Alabama, right? So it has to be, in my opinion, it has to be at a federal level. Number
Right.
one, as it relates to slavery, because it was the federal government that allowed states to continue the dehumanizing practice of chattel slavery. Number two, redlining, because it's not just about slavery, it's about redlining, the practice of not loaning to black neighborhoods, black people and black communities, right? Denying us the ability to get home ownership and to acquire wealth via home ownership, generational wealth. Redlining was a federal government practice, right? So it's the United States government that owes us. We can't start breaking it down by states, because we start breaking it down by states, you're gonna get a whole lot of black folk in the South who are not gonna get a penny.
Exactly.
We need to.
They just
Go ahead, brother.
Called one of these banks just got caught up on a big redlining lawsuit. They lost.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sure it was Wells Fargo or something like that.
Wells Fargo, I think it was.
It was
I
City
know
National.
something my cousin was telling me about Wells Fargo. I cannot remember something she was telling me about them.
Yeah,
Wells Fargo goes back to slavery. Wells Fargo bought a bank called, I believe it was Wachovia, one of these banks, and it wasn't nothing but a bank that got all of its money from slaves. Wells Fargo ain't nothing but a slave trading entity with a new name. But I'm telling you, as it relates to who can get reparations, I know you say you're Bahamian. We have to have a sustained movement where what Bahamas was under the UK, under the Crown.
Worldwide, attacking worldwide. That's the British.
Right. So we got to have a movement that supports reparations for our people going against the Crown. See, here's the thing that becomes tricky for people in Louisiana, because Louisiana was under the French, the Spanish, and the United States. You follow what I'm saying? So I need a check from all three of them people.
Exactly.
I want to check from everybody. I need to check from all three of them. You got a black folks around with all these old French names, Matoya and all that old type of stuff. Yeah, I need a check. Yeah, I need a check from France. I need a check from Spain and from the United States.
Cough it up.
So y'all need to get together and have a little meeting and see who gonna cut the first check. That's what I'm
trying to tell you. For
Right.
real. Okay. My ex-
Okay. All right. Next question. Which one was this?
Yeah.
Okay. How are the boys adjusting since moving from the
Hold on. You forgot another part. And do you see a difference in their personalities? I just gave you out two.
Huh.
two-party question?
Yes.
Yeah, I think they're adjusting pretty well. So my youngest seems to really like it. He likes his school. He's met some great friends here. They both think the school lunch is way better than the lunches back in the States.
Oh, nice. Nice.
They, overall, I would say that they're adjusting really well. My oldest, he still misses home. He misses
Okay.
his friends back home. He misses his grandparents because he was very close to them. So he's the one that I think still, because we haven't been here that long. He's the one that I think still like, are we for real staying here?
Oh,
Or
okay.
he's like,
Gotcha.
for real?
You think y'all visiting?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's in his mind is still like this is not home yet. Um, but we're working with them. I don't know that I see a big difference in personality though. Like what do you think?
No, what I do know is that I don't worry. See, New Orleans is a black city. When I
Okay.
was growing up, 70% black. Now it's 60%, but the white people starting to leave because of the violence. So
Okay.
I don't worry about, like, in my city, I ain't worried about no
Yeah.
racist white people. I ain't never seen no racist white people in New Orleans. I mean, they
Wow.
there. You
Yeah.
know they there. They definitely there, but they outnumbered. So they gotta
Yeah.
move a certain way. They gotta talk a certain way.
Yeah.
They can only they can only express their racism in their neighborhoods amongst each other in their neighborhood meeting groups. You can't come out here amongst all these Negroes with AK-47s talking crazy.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
I do know. So I wasn't worried about that. What I was worried about was these two black boys that I was raising in a city that violence and criminality
Mm,
is so attractive that even the best children who went to the best schools, who had the
true.
best parents, still get involved in that criminal justice system because it's attractive, it's easy to get into. My mama used to tell me trouble is easy to get into, baby, but it's hard to get out of.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
So whether they in love with it or not, I know over here they can go outside and ride bikes and
Wow.
play ball, and the
You don't
type
have
of
to
people
worry.
at the schools that they're
Yeah.
dealing with, they're not criminals, they're not gangsters. And we talking about black people at the school, right? Like they're from all different African countries or whatever
Yeah.
have you. And we
Okay.
went to a play for the baby the other day, and we looking at the play. I was like, man, this is. I looked at the school. I said, man, this is better than any school I ever attended in my
Wow.
life. College, everything. This
Wow.
is just a good environment for children to
Yeah.
be in. The type of stuff they get into. We go hiking. We
Mm.
go. They any on any day they just go and jump in the pool and go swimming, and they outside playing soccer.
Immature.
They, they
Yeah.
they had the opportunity to maintain their innocence. I lost my innocence at a young age in that city because you see whether I was whether I was an observer or a
Mm.
participant. It's
Right.
just what you see, what you deal with, and I'm so glad that my children can be children. That's
Yes.
that's the greatest gift South Africa can give me
Hmm.
Yes.
is that my children are now allowed to be children. When I see the police, I don't get nervous. I don't make sure my music is down. You know how we
You
do in
got
this
to put
thing.
your hands on the dashboard and all that.
Right, I don't worry about none of that.
Yeah.
I'm when the police pulled up. I've been pulled over because they have checkpoints every once in a while. Make sure you're not driving drunk. And it's such a non-confrontational, non-tenuous, tenuous. What's the word I'm looking for?
Contentious?
Contentious situation. It's very. Hey, have you been drinking? No. You got your license. I'm pulling out a Louisiana driver's license. That's out of control. I'm pulling out a Louisiana driver's license, and they be like, "All right, go ahead on. All right, cool." And that's it. I
Wow.
don't. I don't worry.
Great
But
So,
information.
you know what I
so
noticed? I've noticed that I feel like the impact of South Africa is something different for black men than it is for women, for black women. Like I
Yeah.
feel like black men, it's something I can't feel or haven't felt. I don't know, and you could probably explain it a little bit better. But I feel like they express
almost like a greater level of appreciation for South Africa and being here, seeing Black women.
Yeah, definitely. That's a good point.
Yeah, so Black women, but let me say this. Let me not talk about Black men know subconsciously, and most of us know consciously, that just being a Black man, you are a threat. When you walk down the streets in the United States, when you walk into certain spaces, you are a threat, right? You are seen as violent, you are seen as aggressive. Just you could have a smile on your face, and there's a certain level of there's a certain knowledge that you have within yourself that these people think certain things of me, right? Mm-hmm. So when you come here and you finally feel that freedom from that, when you finally feel like, man, I'm just another person. There's so many Black men here, so many Black people. I'm not carrying the weight of the entire race on my shoulder. If a Black man robs somebody in South Africa, that is not reflective of all the Black men in South Africa. That's reflective of that individual. Right. So the brothers that come here, they have a different love for it because they know the pressure that they're under in the United States. Even if for those who have never left, they don't recognize it.
Right.
See, you live in it every day, so you don't recognize the pressure that you're under. And then when you get a chance to get some reprieve, you get a break from that, and you come here and you say, wait a minute, man, you know how hard it is to go back to the United States after that?
Right.
You know how hard it is to go live amongst that and to put that weight back on your back? Man, when I used to fly back to the United States, I'd get depressed. I would get sad. I would that's why we came here in March 2021. And on the way back, we had a layover in Paris. We were on our way back to New Orleans in Paris, and we booked our tickets for June 2021. I just needed to know that I would have a reprieve coming up. I was like, I cannot go back to the United States and be like, well, I don't know the next time I'm coming back. I don't know the next time I'll be able to escape. So I had to book flights like for June while I was in Paris. And once I got back home and I was, go back to work, I would think to myself, oh, just a couple of months and I'll be out of here again.
Yeah.
Just a couple of months and I can be gone. All I got to do is, listen, I used to tell myself, all you got to do is stay alive until June.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
I got to stay until June and you got some time and you can go. Yeah.
True.
Yeah, I can feel everything you're saying. And I would also say, like, even I haven't been there, but just knowing that everywhere you go, the bank tellers are Black, the police, majority of the police are Black, whoever running the city, you know what I'm saying? All public sanitation, whatever, just all that Blackness around me. I just, it just make me feel great.
Feel good to be in the majority.
At an outer place,
right, right. Yeah.
Now y'all know why white people act the way they act when they be seeing all you Negroes coming up.
Yeah,
that's true.
You're right. You're right.
When they see you moving into their community, you know that feeling. They enjoy being in the majority. Yeah.
They mad at Europe.
Yeah. That's why the immigration laws get hard. Yeah. Now you gonna understand it.
Yeah, I get it. But see, the thing is, we didn't do nothing to them. They did it.
We ain't do nothing to them. We ain't do nothing.
Looking at us sideways, like we enslaved their people.
Exactly.
Right.
Like, no, you
like
did.
we were the ones that were aggressive towards them.
Yeah.
And that's why we gotta stop using the language white supremacy.
Yeah.
I try not to use the term white supremacy anymore because it gives too much power to them. What I use is unprovoked European aggression and violence. That's what we have been dealing with. It's not white supremacy. We've been dealing with unprovoked European aggression and violence. We ain't never did them people nothing throughout history, and people decided to do this to us for no reason.
Yeah.
Then they came to the continent and inflicted more aggression and violence. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
and then
oh, that person from South Africa, Boota Lazy. I think that's how you say it.
Welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Then it's like even with all that said, then we supposedly got free 1865, I think it was, right?
Yeah.
And instead of them just leaving us alone, getting out the way, they couldn't stop themselves.
Nope.
Even at that point, you done everything that you did. if you would have just got away and left us alone, let us grow and do what we need to do, it'd be a whole different experience right now. Y'all probably wouldn't even be.
Listen, if you've ever read a Frederick Douglass speech, there's probably we don't have him recorded, right? But we have the speeches written. If you could just see how profoundly intelligent and articulate and logical this man was as he made the arguments against slavery and on behalf of Black people. Go back and listen to Dr. King. Dr. King wrote a book called A Letter from a Birmingham Jail. Go read that letter. First of all, he ain't have no typewriter. He ain't have no word, what you call it?
Word
None of that. Go read how King wrote and spoke about the white liberal, the white conservative, and the Negro condition as a whole. We have used the most eloquent language to try to convince these people. Then go look at what Dr. Huey was talking about. He said we're gonna get strapped up, we're gonna police the police, all of that stuff. So we've used even violence and aggression. We can't convince them, is what I'm trying to say. We cannot convince them no matter what you do. We go out right now in Atlanta. Last night, did y'all see in Atlanta, they had some protests because an activist got killed in Atlanta. They set a police car on fire. Right? We could do all of that, and at the end of the day, they have maintained their position and their perception of who and what we are and where we should be in the United States of America. So if I'll continue to say this throughout this interview, and I'll say it again: Black people in America, you only have two choices.
That's right.
Leave or accept your second-class citizenship.
I'm not accepting anything. We out. Deuces. You're just working on the bag, and we out. I'm telling you. I talk about it all every day, all day. I have developed anxiety. Like, I kid y'all not. Like, I had anxiety attack about 2-3 weeks ago, and being here is really damaging me. It really is doing a lot to me. And I'm trying to just, stay prayed up, of course. And I'm trying to just try to calm down, trying to deal with it until we get out of here. But it's getting bad.
Yeah. We talked about it every day. It was almost an obsession for us.
Yeah.
That's all we talk about.
That's it.
What we go we'll South Africa. How are we going to do this? But that's important because you have to plan. You got to plan to escape. When our people was leaving off the plantation waiting for Harriet Tubman, them people wasn't just running. Them people had plans. They knew where they was going. Where's the next stop on the Underground Railroad? What time we leaving? You understand? You got a plan. Did we leave them?
I don't know.
Look like we the only ones here.
When they were plugging in the computer, maybe the charge didn't take.
Yeah. They'll jump back in. We'll hold it down.
But yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry.
There they go.
There we go.
It's wiped out. I don't know how I did it, but we're back. I'm sorry.
Ain't no problem.
YouTube had caught up to us all. They can't be talking like that.
So I said it's a successful for me because they keep grounded.
This is
true. Let's pluck them up from the ground and let's try to get that obsession worked out into a reality because I'm telling you, family, and then God put it on certain people's heart. Whether you're a believer, I don't know if everybody's a believer, but it's certain people. There's a brother we just ran into from he reached out to us. He's here. He and his family, I mean, literally just sold everything and came. No long-term planning. I think he obviously has a plan for his money, but he was like, I couldn't do it anymore. He left. Dr. Bennett, I don't know if y'all know Dr. Bennett, and he's often on our channel. He and his wife, they sold their practice. These are doctors. And that's another thing that I'd like to point out to people. For those of us, some of us were middle-class Black folk, highfalutin Negroes, right? We know the white people. They know us by name. We can call judges and talk to them. That's me. Yeah, I know all the white people in my city who got some money and some power and influence. I can call them on the phone, right? So imagine being a Dr. Bennett is a doctor and his wife is a doctor. You
Right.
say that these people are successful. You
Right.
say that these people have achieved American. What make them want to leave?
True.
That's the question you have to ask yourself. Well, how is it that bad that somebody who is a doctor with his own practice came to South Africa and went back and sold his practice and said,
now he brought them skills to the continent, right?
well, he'll be here at the end of this month.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Yeah, he'll be here at the end of this month.
That speaks a lot. That's a lot.
Yeah.
A lot. You know, and I honestly, when I started this YouTube channel, I ain't had no clue. I'm still learning, you know, but I felt after a while, I'm like, you know what? After talking to people and, you know, just letting them know. Just yesterday, I was at the market passing out my business cards and to our people, and they were like, the first thing the guy was like, hey, they have you know, dual citizenship. I said, yeah, you know, certain only two that I know of. And then another one was like, wow, well, oh wait, they have this and they have that. And I said, yeah, they do. And you know, I felt then once I started getting different response from people, I'm like, I gotta do this. And the channel just kind of went a different direction. And people who I didn't think would watch is watching, and they're seeing through you all, you know, when I have these interviews that wow, like people actually moving from New Orleans and they moving from here and they moving from there and they actually living in Africa. And you know, and I try to do families because we have families, and not saying like the ones we kind of been watching, they have been families, but you'll find some singles or you'll find some couples. But I feel like the family dynamic is really strong because the simple fact is not easy to move everybody as a collective. And then we're going far. We're not talking about up the street, you know, and it is costly, but I feel like it's more of an impact when you have that as a family that is moving. You know, they're like, well, they family of four, family of five, they're moving. Well, if they can do it, I'm pretty sure I know I can do it, you know, type of thing. So
it's just me. It's just me and my husband. It's just me and my wife. Yeah. If they could do it. But you know, the beautiful thing about the social media is that I really believe that social media was designed to be another way of controlling our minds, keeping us preoccupied with foolishness. So now you used to just watch TV. Now you can watch your phone all day. But what the devil meant for bad, God meant for good. That's what your big mama would say. And now we are using these social media platforms, mainly YouTube, and we are shattering centuries of falsehoods and images that have been presented about Africa. Now people can go on YouTube and type in Kigali and be like, dang, I didn't know it was like that there. Type in Johannesburg and they don't just get the foolishness, they get people, they get the real stuff, the good, the bad, and the ugly. But before it was just giving us the bad and the ugly. Now they get to see the good. And it's, oh, wait a minute, we've been lied to. Why do people do us like that?
Yeah, we like you were saying earlier though, it just they created it for one thing. It's got this unintended side effect for them now. Now it's like, okay, we can share information easily. Ain't no middleman anymore now. You ain't got to run to look at your local news network, national TV network, hear from so and so. We get it straight from each other now.
Exactly.
Right.
Like it's like that part of it is great.
It is.
Right. I mean, look at what we're doing right now. We in Johannesburg, y'all in Florida.
Yeah.
And there's people that's watching this from all over the United States, all over the world at the same time.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You don't have to wait for CNN to tell you what to think no more.
Exactly.
Nah.
And I remember YouTube used to be just about music. Just remember music and people going on there trying to sing, hoping that somebody, acknowledge them and pick them up. And so we
Mhm.
we came a long way from YouTube. Like, really. I'm telling my
Yeah.
age. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Whew. Wow, man, this is amazing. So the next question is, has it been hard for you and the family transition from the States to living in South Africa?
No.
No,
Okay.
not at all.
This man, Johannesburg is Atlanta in Africa. It's
I haven't
Houston in
been
Africa.
to Atlanta. We haven't
You
been
say
to
you never been
we
to
rolled
Atlanta?
through Atlanta though. We rolled through. We
We
ain't
went there to
stopped.
see your mama.
But they don't live in Atlanta. They
They on
live
the outskirts
Yeah.
because they
they over there with the white
Yeah,
folks.
Oh,
they some borderline shit.
Yeah, not
but
my
no, I
mom.
say that to say if
My
you
brother.
They're in a different part of Atlanta.
Yeah. What's the part?
yeah.
Huh?
What's the part they in? I forgot. What
What
part is
Cummins.
Cummings? No, I ain't never heard of Cummings
It's like
ever.
northeast.
Okay.
Yeah, I ain't never heard of that neither. I know Clayton County, I know College Park.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
know.
College Park.
Yeah.
Oh,
Where
take
we
my
at?
song.
Yeah, but South Johannesburg. So your major cities: Pretoria, Johannesburg, Durban, Cape Town. These places, although they are vastly different in their presentation, they're like anywhere USA. Everybody speaks English. The infrastructure is the same. I mean, they got a Popeyes out here,
Yeah.
right? They have a Popeyes. Yeah, they got
It's authentic. Do it
Popeyes,
taste like
KFC, Burger King, McDonald's,
Cream.
Krispy Kreme, all the stuff that. Yeah. So
Does
you're
the
not
Popeyes taste like the Popeyes here though? Have you tried it?
Popeyes don't listen. The Popeyes there don't taste like Popeyes in New Orleans. It's different. Hey, listen, I swear to God, ask anybody from New Orleans
Uh-huh.
if Popeyes in New Orleans, like Popeyes in New Orleans, taste different than Popeyes everywhere else in the country. Like it really does. And we have different stuff on our menus that y'all don't have on y'all menus.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
because
Wow.
but anyway, so Johannesburg is like it is so easy to transition here. I'm telling black people if you want to come to the continent, right, and you want it to be easy for you, like come here first and then stay here a few years and then kind of explore those other places and see them. But once you've already kind of broken those psychological connections from the United States, those bonds by living here, this is an easy transition.
Yeah.
High speed internet, all the stuff you can think of. I mean,
Yeah.
it.
You don't feel like you're missing out on anything.
Yeah, you don't feel like, oh man, back in the States, I would be doing this. It's
Right.
more that you can do here than probably you can do in the States. And I say that because a lot of stuff that they offer here, you're never going to walk in a place and be the only black face.
Mhm.
You're never going to walk in a place and it's just, you feel like, dang, it's only two of us in here.
Exactly. We done had them moments.
Look for the
Our
other black.
daughter's starting to realize that too, because like when we went to one dine, she was like, "Oh, well, it's only us in here." As opposed at first, she didn't notice, she didn't notice it, but now like it's like more like, and that also I think has to do with us changing her school.
Oh yeah.
And now she see more of her,
Let me ask
Yeah.
y'all a question.
Uh-oh, I done started something.
Like as far as like educational wise, do they teach their own history? Do they teach our history? You seen anything relating to that?
So they got South Africa has a rich history of freedom fighters. Stephen Biko. Everybody know Nelson Mandela, but look up Stephen Biko. Yeah, they got Walter Sisulu. They got O.R. Tambo. They got their own history of freedom fighters who put it down for their liberation.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Now in school, I don't know what they teach in their schools because our children go to a French school. So I don't want to just sit there and lie and make up stuff.
Right.
But I know those names that I just quoted, not because I knew Stephen Biko's history, but not because I knew it before, but because Walter Sisulu has a national park named after him. O.R. Tambo is a freedom fighter, and that's who the airport in Johannesburg is named after. Nelson Mandela is literally everywhere here. You see what I'm saying? So they have what's the word I'm looking for?
History.
Memorialized they're memorialized their freedom fighters and street names and architect like buildings, and there's a school, there's a building at the school, and I'm not even gonna fake like I remember the brother's name, but I was on live one day and I was like, who is this person or whatever, and they said, oh no, that was a freedom fighter, brother, you got to know him, you know. So yeah, so now in terms of teaching like African American history,
Right.
they know Dr. King. Yeah, they might know Brother Malcolm. Yeah, they know Muhammad Ali, but I don't know if you're gonna start getting into the woods with, Medgar Evers or even Dr. Huey or even Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad. They might not know all those people, but that's fine. They don't need to know them. What we need to know is that there was a common thread of Black people who were thinking about liberation, right? And keep in mind that here the situation is different. In the United States, we are a minority group that was oppressed or being oppressed by the majority. So our moves and our calculations were different. Here, it was a minority group oppressing the majority. So they had a different way of operating, a different way of thinking, and a different way of moving. They never lost their culture.
Okay.
They never lost their culture. They still do culture. They still do all the cultural practices, the Lobola and for engagements, and so there's a different presentation of their Blackness than ours.
Okay.
You know.
That answered my question well, because I just wondered, like, here they hide and run away. American history is shrouded in secrecy over here. So
yeah,
see if they talked about their history more than anything,
right? Yeah,
and talk to people. But,
oh, definitely. When you can get in an Uber, let me tell you what I've noticed, and I'm not trying to romanticize and just paint this rosy picture, but I've noticed that you can get into an Uber and spark a conversation with the Uber driver about world affairs. They know about what's going on in Europe. They know what's going on in the United States. They are more aware. When you listen to the radio here, between songs, they're not just, sometimes they playing around and talking silly, and other times they're talking about, let me tell you the most impressive thing that I saw recently, Friday or Saturday. The matrix exams came out. So matrix is like the high school exam, and matrix is like high school. Okay. And they take these examinations and it determines colleges that people are going to go to, but then there's an overall score that they get. Do you know that was on, the man making the announcement was on every radio station?
Oh, wow.
That's how important education is here. Imagine if somebody was giving out SAT scores on your local radio station, talking about our overall SAT scores was, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I went from one, because he was talking on one radio station. I'm trying to find me some rap music or some R&B or something. Next station he was talking. Next station he was talking. This is the people are invested in this education and these scores and these matrix exams. That's how important it was. It was on every radio station.
Yeah, here they'll be talking about foolishness.
Oh yeah, you know that.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, our next question is, do you and the family have temporary or permanent residency? If so, what was the process for you and your family? If you don't want to make it long, it's fine. You want to keep it short, that's fine too.
Yeah, we are here on a research visa that lasts 3 years. So it's until 20,
Temporary.
so it's temporary residency until 2025. I will be trying to get that extended. So tomorrow I'm gonna go up to the school and play my part.
Oh, there
Okay,
you go.
okay.
Play my role and get a so hopefully the next step is to get a work visa. And once you are granted a work visa, then you can apply for permanent residency. And eventually you can actually apply for citizenship. So permanent residency gives you all the rights of a South African citizen besides voting.
So
And I don't know if I will ever like. So it's strange. As much as I'm talking about it, you know that there's a power in that blue passport. And right now, our position is that there's power in that blue passport, meaning there's so many countries you can walk in and they just be like, "Oh, you got that blue passport? Go ahead."
there you
Right.
go.
You know, so I'm not sure if I'm ever going to give up my U.S. citizenship.
Right.
You know,
I understand. Yeah, we're on the same sheet of music with that
So
too.
so it sounds like you're saying they do have a path to citizenship.
Yeah, that's what it
oh
sounds.
yeah, there's a path to citizenship.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Because we were wondering about that.
Yeah, I didn't know if they kept you on visa residency status forever, but you can. Okay.
Okay.
No, they got a lot of people here with permanent residence. You know, especially like your retirees, because if you get the retirement visa, you can then apply for permanent residence.
Okay.
So that's like a multi. You got to be there for multiple years to get to that point.
Yeah. For permanent residency,
Yeah, you
that's
gotta be
usually
here a
never a
while.
quick process
Yeah.
in any country that you migrate to.
Yeah,
You know, I would say you're probably looking at least
5
probably
years.
5 years before you
years
can get
now.
permanent resident. You know, most
Yeah.
people, you have to start off with temporary residency, see how that goes, and then apply.
Okay.
So yeah.
Yeah, they're checking you out. They're trying to make sure you ain't breaking no laws coming here. Yeah, because you could be on your best behavior for a year.
Yeah.
I was on a year probation. I did good.
You was on
You know what I'm saying? If you start killing-
they know you ain't no thug now. They got you welcome with open arms now, right?
yeah.
They say he all right. He can stay.
Yeah, after a couple of while, okay, he know how to behave. He all right. Judge, you can take. Can I end my probation early, Judge? Y'all know
I've been good.
Terrorizing the locals and all that, right?
Yeah, definitely getting with the locals or whatever have you. Yeah.
So now I know like I guess it depends on you know, who you I guess go through the citizenship. Now a lot of them ask for like background checks and things like that. Would it be the same with South Africa as well?
I was nervous too,
Yeah.
because you know my background ain't squeaky clean.
Oh man, right.
Oh, good.
I was nervous. They said we need an FBI background report. I said, damn, we're gonna have to go through
They
it.
going deep. They going deep, man. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. It's
No, yeah, you need you gotta do an FBI background check, and as long as you don't have any open cases, and the case has been resolved. Now, I don't know, like if you got like a murder charge or something like that, they may be like,
No, we
nah.
ain't gotta worry about that with us. No. Okay.
No.
Now, did you have to? You had to. I'm trying to think now. You probably have to come back to the States to get all that information and bring it with you, right?
No, so in order to get a visa, you need to apply in the States.
In the US.
Okay.
You can't apply for a visa here. You can apply for visa extensions here, so that we have a visa, right? When our visa up in 2025, probably late 2024, we're gonna apply for our extension. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
And they extend it for another 3 years or whatever have you. But your initial visa application must be done from the U.S. or your country of origin.
So you got to come back. Okay. And then I guess once the citizenship, you got to go back and get your federal and all that stuff background. Then you got to come back and bring it back to them, right? Or
No, you got to do all that in the United States.
And that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so you got to go to the if you are in Florida, you go into the Washington D.C. embassy. So you got to gather all of the information that they need, all the stuff. It's a whole bunch of documents that they're asking for. And you take those documents and you bring them to the Washington D.C. embassy and you drop it off along with your passport. And when you drop that off, they say 4 to 6 weeks. I don't know how long it really takes. We'll find out later. It took for us 12 weeks.
Oh,
right?
well, you can't go anywhere.
Yeah, no longer than 12 weeks.
Okay.
And then, but for other people like that we know, it did take 4 to 6 weeks, but that was before us. They applied before us, before there was some changes to the way they were processing visas. And now they've changed them back, so hopefully it is back to being 4 to 6 weeks. But once you do the application, they will mail you your passport and your visa, with your visa in the passport already, and then you're good to go.
Okay. Can you pronounce his name right?
I could try, but I don't want to butcher that man.
Oh goodness. Help me out. Oh, help me out, y'all. I gotta make sure I say my good name.
Yeah, that
looks like Siabonga.
No, it looked like Sayabonga.
Bongo. Okay. He
Sayabonga.
named me
But
too.
Adrian probably right.
Your name right. I'm so sorry. Are we
Adrian probably right.
This is a question for us. Well, see, for us, we probably kind of trying to move around a little bit. But my daughter, I'm very interested in the colleges there. Our attention is thinking about going to visit. So doing like a college tour. But now we have to detour because we have some business that we have to take care of in Zanzibar. So I wouldn't knock that off the list.
It's on the list.
It's on the list.
The University of Cape Town is the #1 university in all of Africa.
Yeah, thanks to
the University of Witwatersrand, where I'm at, is the second best university in all of Africa. University of Witwatersrand is ranked 212th university in the world. Now you say, damn, 212. Let me tell you, there's 104 HBCUs in the United States alone. That's just 104 black colleges alone. So the University of Wits, or Wits is as they call it, is ranked 212 in the world.
Yeah.
Right? So tell your daughter to come over here and get all she needs is a student visa. Yeah. And y'all can pay for it out of pocket, I bet.
Right.
Yeah.
Because we saw you walking the campus. That's what got interest. See what I'm saying about this being connected on the internet? I was like, okay.
Yep. And then when he mentioned the last time,
and I'm gonna tell you the main thing that caught me when you mentioned the price. I'm like,
oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can pay for it out of pocket.
Yeah, let's take that one.
So my essay is generally #1 in everything in Africa. That's true. That's true.
And the University of Cape Town is beautiful. It's a beautiful university, beautiful campus. The Cape Town is beautiful. So,
but it's not just they got Cape Town #1, Wits is #2, but they got the University of Johannesburg, University of Pretoria, University of South Africa.
They have a lot of universities.
They do.
And these people, now let me tell you, I remember walking around a few months ago as they were beginning to take their final exams. That's what we call them in the States, like final exams. Man, these students serious about school. I remember being an undergrad and I wasn't that serious. You know, I had the same 5 subject for the last 3 years of college. I didn't really wasn't no good student. These are good students.
Yeah.
They need to work on that load shedding though. Man, you know, load shedding is a very strange inconvenience. But right now it's load shedding. And as you can see, we have lights on. Because we have an inverter. Right? We have an inverter. But let me say this. Here's the way I look at load shedding. Mama Vera is a sister in New Orleans. She's an older sister. She was down with the Black Panthers. She was down with the civil rights movement. She was a pro-black revolutionary woman. And she said to us, she used to say to us when we used to sit at her feet, to get our knowledge, on our history and our culture. And right, this older woman, she would say, "What y'all gonna do when they turn the lights out on y'all?" And then you'd be like, "Man, what this old woman talking about?" But what she was saying is that y'all so stuck on these modern conveniences that you have not made a plan for yourself. When the white man cuts the lights out, or he cuts your power, he cuts your water, you don't know how to do any of that. Now watch this. As they are building new buildings in Johannesburg and throughout South Africa, guess what they're doing?
What?
Putting backup generators. They're putting solar panels.
Oh,
So
wow.
so now the question when Mama Vera say, "What you gonna do when they cut the lights off?" South Africa's already answering that. 10 years from now, when 10 years from now, when the energy crisis is worldwide, because the energy crisis is not going away, right? They already dimming the lights on the Eiffel Tower in Paris because of an energy crisis. Houston had all those people 2 years ago in the freezing cold because they took themselves off the national grid and had their own. I'm talking about Texas. Took themselves off the national grid, had their own grid, and their grid failed. Just two months ago during December, when all that freeze was down south, they were sending out messages saying that there may be temporary blackouts to conserve power. They was telling people, right? So the energy crisis is not going anywhere. South Africa, with load shedding and its response to load shedding with backup generators and solar power and all that good stuff, they will be well positioned 5 to 10 years from now when the energy crisis hit. Everybody gonna have solar power. Everybody gonna have generators. Everybody gonna have inverters.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
We've been talking about that. We've been talking about
that. I just looked at a guy from he was from Ghana.
Yeah, you talking about
and he had the whole mall powered by solar panels.
Okay,
I
yeah.
Seen or thought that was possible. I'm
right.
Like, okay.
I forgot his name.
Yeah.
I forgot his name. I don't remember his name, but yeah. And I think he's been there for some years too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah,
I see us all heading in that direction.
Right.
You know.
Well, what got you all hooked up with Fumba Town? How did you get involved with Fumba Town?
Are we interviewing them now?
Oh, I'm sorry.
I don't mind.
Go ahead. Come on with it. Come on.
We usually don't get interviews, so this is a treat. We usually interview everybody else. No, actually through Go Black to Africa.
Oh,
yeah, he showed on his channel, and this was like actually I want to say 2 years now. Yeah. And at first we weren't ready. And then we said, okay, we looked at the numbers, and we went for it, but we didn't know that, they don't want to give you that citizenship part. We didn't know until after we already invested. Because that was a big thing for us. We want citizenship. That's our thing,
better residency terms.
I'm looking for citizenship because you can go out more freely, and well, at least if you do the west part. So that's how we got started. We went through it again, and then I got connected with Andrew, and I guess after someone saw our YouTube channel and we started talking about it, we had an interview with the guy, and someone actually invested in, and brought I don't know if they brought an apartment or a penthouse, and I guess they decided, you know what, hey, this is working, so let's go ahead and ask her if she want to be the ambassador, and that's how I got pulled in, and we, like I said, we did buy a 1-bedroom. In Fumba Town, because it is a great investment, even though we found out about the citizenship later, we were like, you know what, it's still a great investment because most people we speak to, a lot of them know about Zanzibar. We have some that don't, but it's a touristy spot. So
the white people know about Zanzibar.
Yes.
And that's what we want anyway. Black people ain't got no whole lot of money.
You're right.
Yeah. White people. Yeah, black people, they still trying to go to Atlanta.
Yeah, you're right.
They're going to Mexico.
We go everywhere else except Africa.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So anything else
Exactly.
you want to put in on
Oh no, but
her
I got
question?
he would be
Where you jump from that? Wait, we're still
he
talking
would
about.
P Newton is making me
Oh,
hot, so I
huh?
got to take him
Oh, you
off.
talking about that? Oh, I thought you was.
He got me over here sweating.
So is there
Let me tell you,
anything about?
brother Huey,
Huh?
No, was there anything?
brother Huey P. Newton is my frat brother. He's a member of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated, and he
Okay. Yeah. So
yeah. So the reason, so a fraternity we have what chapters? We have a chapter here. We have a chapter there. We have a so when he founded the Black Panther Party, he founded it after the architecture that was laid out by Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated. And one of the greatest quotes that I love to say is from Dr. Huey Newton. He said, "Power is the ability to define phenomenon and make it act in a desired manner." And that's what Black people lack. We don't have any power. We start talking about power. I heard Tyrese was just amazed by Zanzibar on
Yes,
his
he
eye.
was.
Man, you know what? And I want to know what more do you want from me, right?
yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
What more do you want from me? Oh man, I can't look at
That was
Tyrese.
housework, y'all.
Man.
Yeah. I mean,
Some people don't get it. I also don't get it. I'm stopping
Sorry,
you from.
you did that fast. I'm sorry.
yeah.
Oh, I don't know what they. I don't know what the people talking about.
Oh, no
And some
problem.
people don't get it.
What were you gonna say?
No, I was gonna say about as far as like Huey P. Newton. You know, they always they try to paint a picture of the Panthers as this bad thing. Then I
Yeah.
started researching on my own. Then I saw that movie. I don't know if you saw the movie. What's the name of that movie with Fred Hampton on it.
Judas and the Black Messiah.
Oh, that one. Yes.
So
Yeah.
then I saw that movie, and I'm like, man, they tried to make these people look like they was
Yeah.
just the worst thing in the world. You know what I'm saying? It's the opposite.
Right.
Nah, man. Do you know the only time? So you know the NRA, and shout out to the NRA because I believe in guns. But the NRA is a organization, obviously, that is pro-gun. The only time in history that the NRA supported gun control was when the Black Panther Party started walking around Oakland with guns on their bodies and going up to the Capitol with their guns. You know. No, let me tell you, Huey was a brilliant man. Now he got caught up into a little gangsterism towards the end of his life, which unfortunately, led to his demise. But Huey was a brilliant man, and he's from Louisiana too.
Oh, okay.
No, I didn't know that.
He's from Louisiana.
They should have wrecked the statue of the man down there or something, right? They got something.
Oh no. Well, you know how he got his name. So here's an interesting thing. There was a governor of Louisiana named Huey Long. And Huey Long was one of the most popular governors, and he was elected maybe 3-4 times, and he was a senator and all of that. He was so popular, he told people, "I'll give you $100 cash if you name your children after me."
Wow.
So that's how Huey Newton, he's carrying the name of Huey Long. And there's a whole lot of people in the state of Louisiana with the name Huey behind Huey Long.
Yeah, $100 is $100, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, $100, especially at that time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably more like 1,000. Real.
Adrian went on a little break too, huh?
She's sitting up here eating cookies.
A snack break. Right.
We did snaps.
I didn't want to be eating on camera like that.
I don't blame you.
What you eating? Animal cookies? What was
Ginger snaps.
Ginger snaps. Y'all know about ginger snaps? Yes.
Do they have? I'm
sorry.
curious now. Since we talking about snacks, do they have are their snacks more healthy or is it pretty much the same as here?
Same, huh?
I mean, yeah. So that's
cookies.
Yeah, keep that 1,000.
Same.
Corporations have, with modernization and industrialization comes corporations and their influence. So you can find Doritos here. You can find, the Snickers bars.
Yeah.
All the
they got salt vinegar potato chips.
Oh man.
I ain't seen no salt and vinegar potato chips, but I have seen sour cream and onion
Yeah.
and all your typical snacks and stuff. Now they food that you eat like per se like
What's that, like in the restaurant or
in
something?
the restaurants, it don't taste as salty.
Okay.
The,
High
the,
blood
the
pressure,
levels
all
of
that.
sugar stuff. Like
Yeah.
you get a milkshake, you want that milkshake to just give you a little diabetic coma right quick, and it
Right.
don't really do that over here. So,
Okay.
like I'm gonna tell you the ice cream.
Uh-huh.
I'm a Bluebell ice cream person. They don't have Bluebell over here, and the ice cream don't taste as creamy or as sweet.
Sweet. Okay.
Which is good. This is a good thing
Right.
because you don't need all that sugar. But every once in a while, I think to myself, damn, I really wish I had some Bluebell ice cream.
Right.
Yeah.
To the point where I was like, I'm gonna try to see if I can make it myself.
Yeah, I was gonna say we can't bring it when we come visit. It's gonna melt.
Yeah.
You gotta
That's gonna be a rough one. Yeah, it can be a rough one.
Get some dry ice or something.
It ain't gonna last how long the trip is. It ain't gonna make it.
Yeah, them 16 hours? No.
Ooh, Lord. You know what?
Ice cream soup.
I'm embrace it. I'm embrace it all in. However long it takes. I'm embrace it.
Yeah, they got direct flight too, though, right?
The trip was arranged through South African Tourist Board. It's about 20 people. Tanya, tell them to holler at me. And I want to say this. Tanya, tell them to holler at me. Now, I love meeting Americans here, and I just like running my mouth. We also have onewaysa.com. If y'all get opportunity.
I was gonna put that up. Hold on.
Yeah. You can tell I ain't no astute business person. I'm supposed to have said that a million times already.
Right there.
There you go. Onewaysa.com.
I told you I'm on it now. I got my little
one. All right. Yeah. So we've done a number of consultations and we've met with a few people thus far. We just started this a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
But a lot of people have some of the questions that you're asking us right now. They have those questions about permits and visas, about lodging and where to stay, as well as property purchases.
Wait a minute, I ain't have my interview yet. Oh no.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go. Next question.
Oh goodness. Hold on. Let's see. I'm just making sure I ain't missed anything in here. Hold on. It says Doc gets you an ice cream maker true and make some bell. Some bluebell.
I'm telling you, I'm gonna do it. Yeah, thank you, Ty. I'm about to do that.
He said, but it tastes sweet for us because that's the only sweet we know. Gotcha.
Right. Exactly. Gotcha. And I think I've heard people say when they visit the States that the food is so salty here, or the food is extra sweet, or whatever have you. And we like, nah, man, that's regular. You know what I'm saying?
And meanwhile, we're feeling ourselves eating that
stuff. Definitely.
I'm hoping
y'all see that right there.
I get that. What's that?
That's my blood pressure medicine because I be eating all that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's that blood pressure medicine.
Okay. Honey, you've been doing so well. I'm gonna, let you take over. Right here. Yeah. Number 9.
Okay. What fun things have you both done with the boys since being in SA?
Man, we went. What you call that stuff where you
like
not hang glide.
Courses?
Yeah, the rope courses, but it's not a hang glide.
Treetop courses and rope courses.
Zip lining.
Okay. They got zip lining. Nice.
Yeah, we went zip lining as well as at the place. It's called Aqua Branch.
Yeah.
You can
it's like rope courses.
Rope courses in the trees.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's nice.
Yeah.
I know.
We go to the elephant sanctuary where we get to walk with the elephants. We took them go-kart riding.
We went we do hiking.
Y'all been holding out. Y'all ain't post that video up.
Oh no. Sometimes it just be about family, enjoying them.
I get it.
Everything for the world.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah. And then the children are not too keen on being on the babies on another, but the other ones,
not interested.
They're not too keen.
Have to respect their privacy. Yeah, exactly.
But what else? We go to movies right around here. bouncy castle,
or what do you jump places or
place where you could
trampoline
like
parks?
trampoline
Yeah.
parks, that indoor trampoline parks, where you be jumping and flipping and all that type of
You
stuff.
jump
Like
with them, y'all jump with them, or y'all just watch?
Oh no, my days are done.
I like
No,
some brave souls out there doing all that bouncing.
only time I'm jumping, if I jump a fight, like I jump somebody. But I ain't gonna be doing no, my knees too bad for that. No. Ain't gonna have me.
Hey,
Ain't gonna have me on somebody Instagram.
Oh, your
Huh?
son putting on you at
I
it.
said, much as I used to play basketball, I was like, I ain't on no contract. I get out here and twist my ankle or something. I gotta go to work.
Right. Now I'm laid up in the bed for 2 weeks because I want to be out here
with ice, heating pad, pain.
Hey, missing money. We passed that. That part of life is over with.
Oh,
right.
good. She said, we are traveling professionals and own our travel companies, and the SAT board arranged a trip to show them SA, hoping we can get more clients to travel to SA.
Oh, okay. Man, I need to be involved with you, Tanya, because I want to get more people to relocate.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I have, if it's okay with you, Asad, when it's over, I'll put your email details and your website and everything.
Thank you. That'll work well.
Okay, I gotcha. Let me see, what is this? Doctor, they have a full then there's so I'm not sure if they would have time.
Oh, that's all right. Ain't no problem.
Okay.
Ain't no problem.
Sounds like SA has the best fun activities to do for families. Exactly. That's why I asked the question, because we have two teams and they get bored.
Yeah, and that place y'all went hiking at looked like it was beautiful.
Yes, that was nice.
Oh yeah, that's Walter Sisulu.
It was Zulu.
Sisulu. How you say it?
Sisulu.
Sisulu. Yeah, Sisulu.
So that's like a national park or something, or just
right in the middle of the city.
Yeah, like botanical gardens.
I seen all that sweat coming out.
Yeah, I see you sweat. I see you sweat.
Yes, indeed. And look, I thought I had went to the top. Somebody went in the comments and said, no, you had much more to go. I said, well, look, that's as far as that's the top for me. That's the top for me.
So what you took a zip line to get back there?
Huh?
What, you took a zip line to get down the hill, slide down?
No, you gotta walk down it. But you know, it wasn't going down ain't as bad as going up. And then what made it worse is the children, you know, they running up that thing. They not worried so trying to keep up with them, you know. But have I been to Gold Reef City? Is that the one by the casino?
Yeah. With the rides and stuff.
Yeah. No, we haven't been to Gold Reef.
We've been to the casino.
Yeah, we've been we're not gambling, we're going to eat.
We don't gamble. I don't play like that.
No, but we.
He like to pretend.
I like to win it. I don't like to lose it. That's my problem.
We went to Vegas.
Right.
How long ago that was? A couple of years ago. He on the slot machine pretending like he playing so he can get some free drinks.
That's right. You gotta know the game. You gotta know the game.
Yeah. I used to do that. I used to go because the one that they got a casino in New Orleans, and they give, like, if you play on the slots for an hour, they'll let you park for free. And they had a club around the corner that I used to try to go. So I used to go to the casino at 10 and stay there till about 11, act like I was playing a slot, pay $20 a quarters. And I get that little parking validated, and I'm going to the club. I ain't trying to get in.
That's it.
I can't.
He talking about, I always win when I get my drinks.
I can't let him win on me like that. No.
Yeah.
Hi,
But
Moses. Welcome.
The casinos here have like a lot of restaurants, and there are a lot of like kid things in the casinos as well, and they're open around Christmas whenever they're closed.
So you know, obviously, we are Muslim, and we had some plans to go as a theme park. Your boys would love it. Yeah. So it was like Christmas Day, and we were like, damn, ain't no stores open, nothing open to get us nothing to eat. We were riding around. We went to because I said, man, you know, one place that's gonna be open. It's the casino. The casino closed. This is a different place. This is out of space. And that casino show was open with all the restaurants open and everything, because you know, casinos, they don't care what about no holiday. They trying to get you to
Right.
give them their
They
money.
want their
Exactly.
money.
Right.
Yeah,
Yep. That's
It was
right.
packed.
And it was packed. Yeah.
What areas in South Africa would you recommend to live in so far since you all only been there 6 months?
Like Johannesburg,
Okay.
Mhm.
Joburg.
Joburg.
Like any
Joburg.
particular like areas like Sandton or Rosebank or
Well, it all depends. I used to say stuff like, "Oh yeah, Sam," but it all depends on what your budget looking like and what you're looking for.
What
Gotcha.
exactly you're looking for.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
it all
But like,
depends
is
on.
there like a particular I guess area where there's more families or it's just kind of families just spread out everywhere?
Family everywhere.
Okay.
Yeah,
Good.
Yeah.
it's really dependent more on your taste.
Okay.
Yeah.
What you are looking for. I'm
Mhm.
trying to get yeah. It's on your taste. What you are looking for. What type of house you want. You know. So somebody said no Pretoria East, no load shedding.
Oh, okay.
And is that our partner Moses?
Yep,
Yeah.
it's Moses, yes.
Moses letting
That
it
our
be.
partner was happening, bruh.
There you go.
It is.
Moses, man. I got that little thing you gave me, the little shaker. It sit on my thing, man. Shout out to Moses. Yeah,
Yep.
so he live out in Pretoria East.
Okay, so no load shedding, y'all. So make sure y'all take a note of that.
So Victoria is a major city.
He'll answer.
Yeah,
Oh,
Mhm.
okay.
and Pretoria is a city. See,
Oh,
somebody.
okay. So what part are you
Hey,
in?
Jack, where you stay? See if Uncle tell us where you stay.
What
Let
part
me
you
stay.
yeah. Okay, Red's grade A. Hey brother,
There you
welcome,
go.
welcome.
Oh, there he is.
There you go.
What's happening?
Yo, bro, that's me. Okay.
Yeah, all right, all right.
Okay, we got a question for you, Dr. Asad.
What else? What
What
website would I use to find an Airbnb? Joburg probably 24. You use the
Outside
Airbnb?
of Airbnb?
The Airbnb website.
Yeah.
Go to
Or
that.
Airbnb.
Yeah, go to Airbnb. Get the but you know it's not a website. It might be an app. Put the app on your phone.
Yeah.
And the great thing about Airbnb is we got one coming on board in the next week or two. But the great thing about Airbnb is you can actually read the reviews
Mm-hmm.
and you can see what
Right.
people are saying
Right.
about location, cleanliness, you know, all the stuff. What do you call it? Response time or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So go to
Ooh,
Airbnb.
it's flooding in like crazy on here. Okay, y'all give me a minute. I'm working with Juan.
Oh,
They coming in.
all right.
Can a foreigner open a bank account in South Africa? If so, what does this process look like?
I'll tell you. See, this stuff we be consulting with on onewaysa.com.
That's why I
Go
was
there.
like, why I said, why he put that website out before I did the interview?
She's trying to sneak in some free information on
Yeah, that's something we can talk about. But yeah, you can't open up. You definitely can't open up a bank account. It's called the ones we did was called a non-resident account. Now here's the catch: you can only deposit foreign currency into that account.
Right.
So you can't make rands, which is the currency here, and then deposit those into that account. So, for instance, our homegirl Brandy, she opened up an account with F&B. It's a non-resident account, but she still lives in the U.S., so she's able to deposit U.S. dollars into her account.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I heard they still the U.S. still try to tax you too out here.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother conversation. We got to know that you don't.
Boy, I tell you, that's a mess.
Unless
Right?
not-
Follows you everywhere.
Yeah. And if you have more than $10,000 in your
they want to know.
like the South African account,
Yeah.
you got a special tax form that you need to fill out
What?
and claim that money. Yeah.
I talked to one banker in Gambia. He was telling me they basically get in trouble if they don't report it.
Right.
So I'm like,
Ooh.
That's crazy.
So if a Gambian go to the United States and open a bank account, they got to report back to Gambia. He's like, no. I said, so why y'all allow that to happen?
Because they got a
You know
leash.
what I'm
They
saying?
got a leash on us.
That's a one-way deal.
They got a leash on us.
Because South Africa, I mean, Lord have mercy, not South Africa. The United States of America is only one of 2 countries that taxes its citizens worldwide. So no matter where you are, no matter how you earn that income, they will try to tax you.
Unless you renounce your citizenship.
Right.
Unless you renounce your citizenship or you find, open a business and that type of stuff where you can find some loopholes around the tax. But
they got you.
Get your offshore account in Cayman Islands.
Hey.
They not even. I don't think they even letting that. That's throwback. It used to be Swiss bank accounts, right? The rich white people in the mafia was putting their stuff in Swiss bank accounts, and then they went to the Cayman Islands. They on to that now.
Yeah, they shut all that down.
Once black people start rapping about it, it was over.
That was it. They all in.
Are there groups of retired citizens there that say, I'm 65 and single, looking for others? Man, listen, there's a retirement community right up the street. I would like, if I can get my mom and daddy to move here or her mom and daddy to move here, man, it's a beautiful retirement community. Yeah, it is. Like right up the street from us. And it's just like we could walk there, and then, but there are groups of, there's a sister that I interviewed for the documentary. She's 75 years old.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow.
Wow. Ain't never too late. Ain't never too late. If you want to go, just gotta do it.
Oh, everybody speaking each other. Let's see, but I know some people still getting low share.
So I got a side.
Oh, he said he's on the east. Okay.
They I know guns ain't legal though, right?
No.
So do they have like?
No. Guns are legal. Guns are legal. You just can't get. I just can't get one. But I got don't play no games. I'm from a different.
Yeah.
I went and got me a little toy. I ain't gonna put it on the camera, but I got me a little toy right there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I remember you got that toy.
Okay. That'll work. Yeah.
But no, it's a so there's a store in the I'm trying to turn this red dot off. I got a beam on it. But oh Lord, there you go. Okay. So there's a store in the mall called Triggers and Blades in the mall right by us. So they don't sell guns, they sell what they call home defense systems. Mm-hmm. And they shoot rubber bullets and they shoot pepper spray and tear gas.
So it's CO, they use the CO2 to power it, or what is it?
Yeah, CO2 to power it.
Oh yeah, you put a bunch on real quick with that.
Yeah. And so I got 3 of them. So
hey, you doing training? Adrian's got training in, and the boys.
I don't want no parts of it.
She don't want no parts.
Listen,
my children laugh at me because they say, Daddy, we live in a gated community with electrical wire going. No one's breaking in here. I was like, but you see where I'm at? I'm in my bed. I sleep with my guns under my pillow. That's how I get down.
You never know.
I got mine on the nightstand. I don't go to bed without it. She'll tell.
Hey, that's where you gotta live, baby. That's the beauty of America.
Yeah. Jump up like this. You go on one of these at 2:00 in the morning. What was that?
Yeah, listen, I'm saying. And then let me tell you what you gotta do. You gotta keep them scattered around your house, because if you like I'm downstairs, I got one downstairs. I got a salt. It looked like a little sawed-off shotgun. Yeah. But I got one downstairs in case I'm downstairs and I see something. Cause I don't want to have to run upstairs to go get one. You know what I'm saying? You got one downstairs. I keep one up under my pillow. I keep one in my book sack when I'm traveling in the car, whatever have you. Yeah. Now.
You can't be
that's just American in me.
So we can deal with the situation. Let me go get what I need.
Yeah.
Nobody gonna get it.
Can you help Red's grade A? He say he about to he say I'm gonna get this visa process and do 90 days at a time.
Well, so there's 2 ways that you can come here. And I want to say this because this is the business, There's 2 ways that you can come here. You can come here on a 90-day visa, and they say if you leave out, return to your country of origin or go to another country. When you return to SA, they'll give you another 90 days. Mm-hmm. When you look at it, that's 6 months, right? That's 6 months right there. And most people may say, hey, after 6 months, I need to go back and visit family and friends anyway, and then come back. I think it's nothing illegal about that. That's legal. They give you the time, but keep in mind that you are at the discretion of the South African border people, immigration, when you do that, because they could easily pull you to the side and say, wait a minute, you were here 6 months already. Why are you back? What's going on? What are you doing? Look like you living here, right? So you're always taking that risk. I know people who've been here since 2019 doing that exact same thing, leaving and coming back. My advice is Red, from what I understand, he said I can't talk to a real human being at all. They keep sending me email to email. Red, bro. Yeah. Let me tell you what you got to do, my brother. And we had to do it. You got to book that flight to Washington, D.C. Book you a hotel for a week. Get there on a Sunday and go there on Monday. Let them send you back with what you need and tell you, okay, come back. And then go back on Tuesday with whatever they tell you. And then wait and you work your stuff out while you there for that week. You understand? Because we did that. I'm talking about you can't get nobody on the phone.
Nope.
And then sometimes they wasn't answering their emails for weeks at a time. You just gotta go. And they do accept walk-ins. You gotta go and you gotta be there. So if you've already set a date, so if your date was like, February 5th or something like that. If that's your date, I would go 4 days in advance and then still stick around for another 3 days after, and because they sent us back. We went in there and I had my FBI background check. I told you I was nervous about it. I had my FBI background. And the people said, no, this about to expire. We need it, especially her, not even really hers, because hers ain't got nothing on it. Mine got stuff on it. And they said, we need you to go, because they said by the time this is processed, this paperwork would have been expired. You need to go get a new one. Now, here we are in DC.
We both had to get new ones.
Yeah, we both had to get new ones. Here we are in DC. So I'm like, damn, where you go? I said, well, this is the home of the FBI. There got to be a way to do it. So we found a place. They were able to turn it around for us in same day.
Yeah.
Same day. Yeah. They were able to go take our fingerprints and email us the results. And then the next day we went back and put in our full package.
Yeah.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So that's my advice to Brother Red. I know it's frustrating, brother. I know the frustration, man. And especially, oh man, then you gotta hand in your passport and you're gonna have to sit there for 4 to 6 weeks. You can't leave. Maybe what I would do, Red, if I don't know what your money looking like, I would take me a quick trip over here for a week, get it out my system, and then go back to the United States and fly straight into the DC with all of my paperwork and hang out in DC for that week and put it in. That because I know how it is. I know that feeling. It doesn't seem logical, but I just know that feeling of feeling like, damn, I'm so ready to go and get back to SA. I'm so ready to be there, and you stuck. You're looking at your family and friends funny. Yeah.
Oh Lord.
Don't understand.
That's terrible.
Yeah, you go to work, your boss asks you stuff, you're looking at them funny, you ready to go. I know how it is.
God. Yeah. Good question. The federal thing, is it expensive? What they want you to get your background for the federal?
Well, $75 or something like that.
I don't even think it was that much.
It might not even been that much. It might have been cheap.
Okay. Yeah. And of course, that's you all have to. The kids don't have to do that because, of course, they're too young.
The children don't have to.
No.
You have to be 18 or older to do the whole.
Okay. Yeah. And they adult.
Okay. I have something here for you. There are guns, but the licensing process is extremely strict and really hard to get one. The best route to get guns is to join a hunting club. Hunting is an easier route to accessing a gun.
I heard
but Brother Moses, I agree. The problem with that is that handguns are not for hunting. Right? And that's what we want. We want handguns or assault rifles. But y'all don't need all that in South Africa because we
Well, check
already.
this out right here. Why do you?
That's the American condition, man. We messed up.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Let me tell y'all this. Here's a logical statement to this question because I understand that it sounds so strange to people.
Right.
Hold on, let me turn that on.
Yeah, it's a little dark.
It's getting dark in here. Hold on. Let
Turn
me move a
off
little bit.
the lights and light a candle.
All right. Getting ready for school or homework.
Yeah, doing homework.
All right. She gonna get the children ready for school right quick. But here's the thing.
Okay.
I mean, getting ready for that, make sure they do their homework for school.
Okay.
So for people who don't understand the gun culture in the United States, it is horrible. So here's several logical responses to the question that the brother is asking. Number one, in the United States, if the criminal has a gun, you want to have a gun.
Yeah.
Right? If the criminal has a gun, you want to have a gun. Mm-hmm. Number two, as bad as the United States is, as corrupt as it can be, they can never roll into our communities with tanks and occupy us. They can never put us under martial law. You understand? Why? Because the government has guns and the citizens have guns. So the threat of civilian revolt is very real, possible, and even tangible. In other places, you'll see they have some rogue dictator and he goes in with the army on his side and he slaughters a whole group of people, right? Because those people are unarmed and defenseless.
Yeah.
They kill black people in the United States, but it'll be one at a time with the police, right? You can't come in and occupy neighborhoods. It's just not the way our system is set up. And the root of that system or the leverage that the citizens have is that they are strapped up. It's not the best policy. I wouldn't advise South Africa taking on the policies of the United States. But the United States has already set up its policies, and that's the way it works. And so when we talk about the Second Amendment, it is about the citizen's right to defend himself against a tyrannical government. Yeah. If the government gets out of control, they say that we have the right to change, alter, or abolish the government. Well, you can't change, alter, or abolish if you don't have the power to overthrow that government. You understand what I'm saying? Now, I'm not advocating overthrowing the government. What I'm saying is the citizens of the United States are amongst a very few groups of people who have the ability to really bring their government to their knees if the citizens were united. And that's one of the reasons why there's so many divisions in the United States. Poor people against rich people, poor black people against white people, this group against that group, because a united citizenry in the United States is dangerous to the government, dangerous to capitalism, dangerous to the power that be, right? To the powers that be, because they strapped up. Everybody's strapped.
Yeah.
There's more guns in the United States than there are people.
Yeah. It's crazy.
And then and to further answer his question, man, I live in Joburg now, and I know people, Joburg dangerous. Joburg don't have nothing on the city that I come from. Yeah, that Joburg don't have nothing on the city that I come from. So it is ingrained in me. What y'all would call the M1. I'm talking to my South African family. What y'all call the M1 or the N1, the highway. Yeah, in my city, they shoot out on the highway. You know what I'm saying? And it's not just once or twice. In 2022, they had 26 separate killings, 26 separate people who were killed while driving on the interstate because they either got caught in the crossfire or someone was shooting at them deliberately. So, you need to be protected. So that's one of the ways we feel protected. So again, it's not something for South Africans to adopt. I would never advise it because it's a relatively stress-free, and they got their crime or whatever have you, but it's not like the US. So I would advise South Africa to maintain its ways of operating. But for Americans, we love our guns, and that's just what it is. Y'all like shakalaka, And Pop, we you like them pistols. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's what we into.
Yeah, they also to add on to that, there was the war where Japan actually attacked the United States.
Pearl Harbor.
Right. And the generals actually got together and decided that was the best strategy instead of putting actual people on the ground. Why? Because they said behind every blade of grass there's a gun in the United States. Meaning,
yeah,
you didn't have to worry about just the military; they would have to worry about the citizens there too.
The citizens, right?
So yeah, there's no way we could win that.
Man, listen, yeah, you don't have to go into the neighborhoods with a general and start handing out armament and say, okay, we got to arm it. Everybody already armed. Just tell us where to go, Captain. Who is shooting at?
We run out the front door, back door, window, everywhere. You want me to set up here?
You say I got my paperwork together, but I'm just trying to get an appointment to be seen, and I can't even get that. Brother Red, shoot me an email, bro. I'm gonna send you somebody's name that you can talk to.
Yeah, I'm gonna put the email in the description box and everything. Okay, Red, it's grade 8, so definitely.
Well, he got my
You got your email? Your WhatsApp?
He got my WhatsApp. Yeah.
Okay.
Send me the WhatsApp.
I can't get through to your WhatsApp. I don't know. You got a special number or something.
I got a couple of numbers. Yeah.
Okay, that's why I can't. Yeah.
Well, my fingerprints Friday, so my packet is done. Yeah, there's a lady that when I couldn't get through to them when I was checking on it, there's a lady that I reached out to who was able to assist me, and then another lady who was caught up in the same situation that Adrian and I were caught up in, waiting on our stuff. Once that lady assisted me, I slid her email to there's a sister who was in the US who was trying to come over here to teach at the American school. And she was having the same trouble. So I slipped the email to the lady that I know over at the embassy, and she was able to help her get squared away. Like a week later, she had her visa and stuff. So
there it is, y'all. So this is the plug, guys. One-way essay. I love it because I can't get the website out of my head. It's so easy to remember. I'll ask you about that later. Who came up with that? I have quit my job 10 times. I give them the side eye every day.
Facts.
Hello, beautiful people. Dr. Sai and Adrian. Bam, bam, bam. Yeah, you know what? I noticed he ain't said bam, bam, bam today.
Nah, I ain't said it yet. Yeah. I'm gonna get on.
You trying to get that?
She said, for the most result of corruption caused by the ruling party and their cohorts, representatives of Black people. You know, it is unfortunate that so I know a brother named Sandile, and he actually wrote his graduate thesis on, I think, the power crisis. I don't forget what it was, but in his estimation, he said that load shedding is an attempt to get the government to privatize ESCOM. So ESCOM, the energy company, is owned by the government, right? Like in different places, like in New Orleans, Entergy is the name of the company that provides electricity and all that stuff to your homes. But here, ESCOM is owned by the government, so they're trying to say like they're doing enough load shedding to get people fed up with load shedding, so they can demand the privatization of ESCOM and then allow corporations to take over and run the energy. It seems like a logical argument, and I've heard it not only from him but from several other people. I don't know, but it's unfortunate. How's the cost of living in SA? Is good. It's real good. All I can tell you is that you can come over here. Listen, we have packing means I have a gun. Facts.
I guess somebody asked about the terminology we use.
Yeah. I can see the passion in Doc's side. What are you talking about, girl?
He hurt, man. Right.
But for Asad, I don't know your gunslinger. I am a Southerner. That's facts. I am from the South. You know, that's a whole nother. I'm from the South, and people like the East Coast folks.
Just say, please,
Them,
babe.
them New Yorkers and them people like that, they different out there. We from the South,
Yeah.
right? From Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, all that good stuff. Yeah, we open carry. I grew up when you used to see the white boys on the interstate and they had the gun rack with the 2 rifles on the back.
Oh,
Hey, the latest movement on guns is they trying to do constitutional carry. I mean, you don't even need a permit no more.
It's our rights. Why what no rights we gotta give up? You know what I'm saying? Give up our rights. When
There you go.
he said it's your right.
Yeah.
Now you want to tell me to go vote, but you going to tell me I can't carry a gun?
exactly.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Yeah.
the sister asked about. Oh man, I forgot.
Oh, what happened? Were we going back? I need to go back.
Yeah, go back. It was a question that I got sidetracked.
Who was it? Who was it by?
I think it was the sister who was asking about the cost of living, maybe. Yeah, there we go.
Okay.
Yeah, so one benefit that Black Americans have that out of anything on all of our problems, concerns, is that we are Americans and we earn the American dollar. And that American dollar is the second strongest currency in the world behind the euro, right? So when you earn US dollars and you come to South Africa, it affords you a different lifestyle. I'm not saying that you're going to go from living in the projects to living in a palace over here. But if you are a middle-class Black person in the United States making, $60,000, $70,000 a year, and you come over here, you're doing pretty well, right? Yeah, what is about $60,000 in? Hold on.
Math.
That's over $500,000 rand. No, that's $1 million rand. I'm sorry.
Mm.
So that's $1 million rand, right? You got it? Yeah. That's $1 million rand. $60,000 is $1 million rand over here. So you're doing, huh?
I say you're in millionaire status.
Millionaire status. You're doing a little well.
For the comment, appreciate you. Have a good day.
Brother Moses, man, let's link up soon, brother man. I owe you dinner.
All right, now you better show up for dinner. I like food. Now I'm a foodie. I'm a foodie. I show up. Peace and blessings. Welcome. Glad I caught a live. So good to see our people making moves and positive connections. Yeah, thank you. Appreciate that.
All right, Honeycomb 368A.
Okay.
I was just shouting that name out.
We're holding on to the one right we have real tight. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I never thought I'll be licensed to carry. I just never thought I would even have to deal with doing that, because I was like scared of the gun.
I influenced that. I pushed that issue.
Yeah. And the kids, we've taken them to the range. My daughter, oh Lord, I thought she was gonna run out the place.
Yeah, well,
she was like, what's going on here? It was too much for her.
And then I gave her too much heat to start out with.
Yeah, the kickback.
Too much kickback on that thing. Yeah, the kickback.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Y'all just go to YouTube and put in like 12-year-old gun, 12-year-old shoot. Them white boys be having their children out there 8, 9, 10 years old, and they be nice sharpshooters. White boy cloning out like this. Yeah. Sharpshooters at 8, 9 years old. You understand? They are prepared. And they talk about Black folk with the 1 or 2 guns we have. Man, these white boys be having arsenals. They have whole gun rooms in their house and open up and be like, damn, a 50.
What you get ready for?
What's going on? What's going on, Kim? This is outrageous.
Yeah. I believe it. Yes.
I was speaking on coal as far as dealing with load shedding, but they're selling the coal right now to the UK. They're selling the coal to Europe. Yeah, and I think even in Russia, right? Somebody.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm talking about it also.
Oh, what you talking about? I'm sorry, we behind.
I'm talking about Poland.
Cole, will I be able to work in my profession or have?
What's your
I don't
profession?
know what profession you
Right.
have. What?
Depends. Is
Yeah,
it a
what
corporate
profession?
skill?
Sorry, I'm thinking of having a business.
Oh,
Oh, well, so to come to South Africa, you and to open a business, you need a business visa,
right.
and that business visa. This is something. This is one way I say
One
dot
way
com.
to say.
One way I say dot com. I'm gonna just give y'all this little tidbit. You need
Okay.
a business visa to come and do business in SA.
Yeah.
So,
You need a good investment.
yeah, and you need a substantial amount of money to be able to invest into an existing South African business
Yeah.
in order to do business in SA. You need that business visa. You can't just come on a tourist visa and then open up a business
They
like
talking with
that.
each other. Okay.
Okay, they're talking to each other.
All right, next question. What has been the biggest difference since leaving the States and now living in South Africa?
Hmm.
Food,
Food?
food.
Really?
Yeah, I miss my New Orleans food. I miss crawfish and gumbo and catfish
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So every once in a while, it's just like you get that. I told people, man, I was getting like subconsciously, I didn't know I was getting a little homesick, but I was going to McDonald's
Mm.
and I was going to McDonald's. I didn't even eat McDonald's in the United States, but you know that smell of those fries,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
is universal. That
Right.
smell, McDonald's French fries, that smell is universal. I've been
Yeah,
to McDonald's in buku countries. That
yeah.
smell is universal. And I think I was just going there because I wanted to smell those fries and kind of remind myself of home. But that only lasted for so long because I don't want the fries. What I really want is the home food that I could taste,
Okay.
A2 and this is stuff that like if you from Texas, you used to eating red meat and steaks and all that stuff and barbecue. Oh, well, you good over here.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? They got
Right.
all the red meat and barbecue and bride that you want, that you can imagine. So you're good.
Yeah.
They got potato salad. They got all this, but because we have a specific
Right.
cuisine in
Yeah.
New Orleans, it's like I can't get that.
Yeah.
But now
Right.
there is a place in Cape Town called uh I think it's called Cape Town Seafood Boil. And
Mm,
I haven't tasted it, but I looked at the pictures and I said, if it tastes like it look,
yeah.
then I'm good. I'm just have to take a trip to Cape Town every so often.
I know
So
that's
I'm going out there.
right.
Yeah, we going, and I'm talking about, look, I was like, they had to hook up with somebody from Louisiana
Right.
to really do this because they had like the corn, they had the sausage. I
Mm.
was like, yeah,
It
that's
probably won't be allowed.
oh yeah, probably ain't halal, but I mean,
Mhm.
I'll just get the, the crabs and stuff, and the lobster, whatever.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
But yeah, so I think that's the biggest thing. That's the biggest thing for the children. Like they want what's that crawfish bisque?
Yeah. And what was that little restaurant we used to run to all the time?
Denny's.
No, there was another one in the neighborhood that they fell in love with that I used to be like, they always running out of stuff.
Oh man, that was our spot too. Oh man.
Adrian, what do you miss? Is it the food for you too as well, or
Oh no, I don't miss anything.
okay, that's good.
I really don't.
That's good.
There's not much I was telling him, I think I started watching Law and Order a lot lately. Like there's certain shows, but I was like, I can stream them, like so. But I don't really miss much. I think like there's a lifestyle difference here. It's
Yeah.
very relaxed. It's very laid back. It's like I feel like I'm outside so much more than I was back at home. And it's nice. It's just nice here. The weather's nice, so you're getting a lot more sun.
Look,
It
look at
just feels very
look at her. Look
relaxing.
at the face. Look at her expression on
Yeah,
her face.
she loves it.
Yeah.
That
Love
that
it.
And
says
we will
everything.
randomly be riding is probably. That's the name of the
Prawleys,
restaurant.
that was it. If
Prawleys.
you're in New Orleans,
Boy, that's
Prawleys.
check out Prawleys. It's right in the hood. Be careful. Be careful. Be careful. Be
Yeah,
careful.
yeah.
right.
Oh
It's a
boy.
good restaurant. Some hood stuff.
Put your bulletproof vest on when you go over there.
Hey, strap all the way up
Bulletproof
to your neck like this. If you can get a turtleneck bulletproof vest, put it on.
Oh man, you don't need a helmet at all.
You're gonna need a helmet and all.
You need a helmet.
But you gonna come out there with some good food though.
Okay.
Don't sit,
Belly
don't
full.
sit in your car. Don't sit in your car. Just go inside. Let them buzz you in. Go inside.
Oh,
Yeah, you good.
now this is not scripted, okay? But have you seen any sweet potato pies? Any sweet potatoes?
No.
Really?
No.
Okay. Okay.
Lord have mercy. No, I ain't seen no sweet potato pie. Especially we was here for Thanksgiving.
I make a mean sweet potato pie, so I had to ask that
Hey,
question.
she making it worse for you.
Yeah. I just thought I'd look.
I
That's
wouldn't
something.
mind that or bean pie. Really.
Or bean, you
Oh,
know,
that was-
shout out to
I
the
just
Muslims. You
had
know, we gonna have
bean
bean
pie,
pie.
y'all.
No, the bean pie is rolling.
You got luck.
It's rolling.
Shout out to
So
that.
good.
I'm trying to tell you.
I've never had that before.
So they know how to grill over there. They know what they're doing.
Oh man, that's the culture over here. Braai is the culture. They call it braai. What we call barbecue,
Yeah.
and they'll tell you there's a difference or whatever have you. But just for this conversation, what we call barbecue, they call it braai, and that's what they do.
That's what they do.
So I'm telling you, if you're a Texan or you I think another big place for barbecue in the States is Memphis. Yeah, if you're from Memphis or Texas and you like a lot of red meat and grilled meat, you in heaven over here.
Yeah.
He
You know what I'm
loves
saying?
grilling. That's why he asked. He liked the grill.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Now for us, we from a seafood town. So that's why we're going to Cape Town. I'm looking forward to going to the seafood boil or whatever have you, because Cape Town is by the water. Johannesburg is landlocked. Ain't no water around here.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah. I love New Orleans food too.
I can't. Well, we ain't been there. We ain't
I
going no
done
more.
had- I
I
done
done
had
changed my
locally.
mind now. Dr. Star changed my mind. I said, no, I ain't going now.
I like my jambalaya, my gumbo. Like,
What?
you know,
I can't
That's
have
what I'm
it
talking
unless I
about.
want to be dead.
Yeah.
I eat
Yeah.
seafood.
Go during Essence when a lot of people there.
Yeah.
Well, Mardi Gras is right now. But you want to go, if you go during Essence and stay downtown, just don't travel outside of where they tell you to go. Essence says this is the Superdome where you're going to have the concerts. This is the convention center where you're going to have the empowerment seminars, and this is your hotel. Go there. Don't think it's a city that you can ride around and I want to sightsee. Oh, it looks so different. No, because it is a different. New Orleans don't look like no other city. It's old. It's 300 years old. You know what I'm saying? And it got old houses, and people really want to go around taking pictures. You gonna run into the wrong neighborhood, and you go, don't do that.
Hey,
I wouldn't.
Hey, don't ride around with the map on it. Hey, don't ride around with the map on the dashboard asking for directions.
Oh man, you just asking for it.
That's a good
You
time.
asking for it, man.
Excuse me, you know where to go? Yeah, we know.
Come on over here.
Or can I work as a nurse or have a open business? Okay, so you got it. So just like in every place, you would have to reach out to the nursing board here and see what exams you would have to take here to be qualified as a nurse here, right?
And you would make income in rands, so you would make income as a nurse, as a nurse's income
here, which may be decent money, or whatever have you, but you just can't come and apply for a job at a hospital, because our homegirl Brandy, she's a nurse. She's a neurology nurse, an executive nurse on top of that. Right, but she can't just be okay, I'm gonna apply for a job at a hospital. Now maybe she was gonna do some research, because that's some of the stuff she's thinking about doing, or something like that. But she cannot practice as a nurse until she is qualified to practice as a nurse in South Africa. And it's, I mean, that's the same thing. You can't come as a doctor I'm a doctor from South Africa and go and work in a hospital. You got to get qualified in the U.S.
And also, he'll probably have to do some schooling, right? Like schooling there to be able to qualify.
I'm sure there's going to be some coursework involved. you know, yeah, I'm not sure of that process or to answer that
Right.
question, but you can't just pop up over here and say I'm a nurse. You know what
Okay.
I'm saying? Yeah.
Because
Well,
one country's credentials may not transfer to another country.
Right. That's what I was thinking.
I
Yeah.
don't do what
You want to read that?
I don't understand why Black Americans don't do what the white Americans does. They come to South Africa with the dollar and have nice things here. I don't
That's
understand
the
that.
truth.
You got money.
Here's my contention with that statement. I agree. White when you get on a plane to come here, you see it'd be like 3 black people and buku white people,
Yeah.
right? But with that being said, we want to come here and connect with our South African brothers and sisters, right? And whatever little benefit we can bring to them to help uplift as many as we can. And don't get me wrong, they got a lot of black South Africans out here driving Range Rovers and Bentleys, and they doing very, very well. But we don't want to come and play the role of gentrifier or neo-colonizer. You understand what I'm saying? We're
Right.
coming out to make connections with our people. So that's why we so adamantly push don't leave out St. Louis. Oh yeah, St. Louis got the barbecue. Yeah. But that's why we so adamantly push Rands and Black Hands, making sure that we're doing something to make sure that we're supporting black businesses here and that we're conscious about where we spend our money and the places that we go. Because even though most of the restaurants we attend and most of the places that we go are already being heavily patronized by black South Africans, we're just trying to be conscious about again where we put our money, where we spend, how we tip people, all of that good stuff. Because again, we're not trying to come to neo-colonizers. You know, we're not trying to come and set up an African American neighborhood and
Right.
South African brothers and sisters out or whatever have you. That's not. We need Black Americans need to be coming over here trying to figure out how they can link up with a Black South African or colored South African, because that's our family too. A colored South African, Black South, even if white South African. But how you can link up and start creating business opportunities that'll create a synergy for Black Americans and South Africans, right? We need to figure out how we can create these connections. What relationship could benefit both ends. And one thing that we have to our benefit is that we have that American dollar. So coming over here saying, oh yeah, I can invest X amount of dollars into a business, or I can assist as he's doing this, or whatever have you, is one benefit that we have. But yeah, again, we definitely don't want to be neo-colonizers.
Right.
Bam, 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 just like that. That's what I'm saying. Bam, 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 like that.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Now I know you mentioned Cape Town schools. This question actually is my cousin told me to ask because her daughter is, I think she's going, what is she going to school for? I think she's going for her master's or her doctor. And she's looking into potential colleges. So I told her I would ask. I know you got one way essay, but I would ask. What do you think are the best colleges for her to attend in South Africa?
University of Cape Town, University and Wits, or the University of Wits-Witwatersrand. I probably destroyed that. Those are the two best. Those are the two best universities on the continent.
Right.
Period.
Okay.
So they recognize like the credentials you get from it worldwide, wherever you go.
These are some of the best universities in the world.
Yeah.
Okay.
Period.
And you said Vets. What did you say?
It's spelled WITWARTER.
Oh Lord.
RAND.
What? Wait, hold on. Come again.
Something like that.
Come again.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell you how to spell it.
Okay.
WIT double like WIT WATER like water. SRAND. That's all one word. WIT WATERSRAN.
Oh, thank you.
That's it.
Yes.
University of Witwatersrand. But they just call it Wits.
Now, most of like these two, the like whatever degrees you go, you go for, are they usually like transfer, like where you can take your what you
that's right.
oh, you just asked that question? Oh, okay. Okay, he said he already asked it.
like any so it depends, right? Like if I get my medical degree in one country and I want to practice medicine in another country, I still have to pass their board exams,
stamps,
right?
right.
It's the same thing. If they go to school here, like I have a good friend that went to the University of Cape Town. She did graduate school at NYU. So it's just a matter of applying and, you know, as a foreign student, because I mean she was a citizen of South Africa, but still, like she got into NYU just fine.
So here's the thing. If you come over here, so I had to come over here and they had to look at my credentials. You know, they probably saw that FBI background report and said, let's make sure he really who he say he is. You know what I'm saying? I'm joking. But there's something called the South African Qualifications Association, something like that. But I don't know. But SAQA looks at your degree, it looks at your transcript, and says, okay, these classes are comparable to the classes that we would have in South Africa.
Mhm.
He's qualified as this. And it's the same thing in the United States. Red, make sure you shoot me a thing, bro.
Yeah, shoot an email.
It's the same thing in the United States. You'll come and they'll say, let's look at your degree. You got a degree from Cuba, because Cuba produces some of the best medical doctors in the world, right? You have a degree from Cuba. Let's see what coursework you took. And if that coursework is comparable to the coursework that will be given in a tradition and in the United States medical school and a degree program, and they say, okay, yeah, he's qualified, or no, he's not qualified. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's the same thing, vice versa.
27.
That's all 26 going on 27
Oh,
of the universities.
wow.
Boy, I don't know all 26 and all 27. I know about 4 of them, 5 of them, man.
All of the above.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm just saying, like I know a few. South African Qualifications Authority. There you go.
Yeah.
SAQA. There you go. Shout out to my South Africans on this thing, doing their thing, man.
Yes, honey. They be showing up and showing out, and they be on it.
Man, listen, man. South Africans are some of the best people on planet Earth.
And
I haven't
very
met everybody
helpful.
on Earth, but they are some of the best people on planet Earth.
And very
You know, like
helpful, I see. Very helpful. Like, you know,
yeah. And they love their country.
yeah.
And they tired of people talking down on their country. They're tired of all the false propaganda being put out on their country or whatever have you. And I respect them for that, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they appreciate us because it's like finally they've been screaming, like, you know, in the Bible, John the Baptist was in the wilderness, screaming, a voice in the wilderness. It's like they've been screaming to the world, they lying on us.
Yeah.
They lying on us.
And
nobody hear them. But then you get an American with a loud mouth like me, I'm saying they lying on them. And people don't hear. And sometimes it is the messenger.
Right.
You know? Because they say, well, you come from the United States where they really, like, here's my gripe with South Africans. They really be thinking the U.S. is all that.
Yeah, I know.
Right?
I know.
South Africa told me, I didn't know y'all had potholes. I didn't know they had potholes in America. I said, what? What are you talking about?
You gotta tear up your whole transmission.
Exactly.
Hit some of this power. Hey, all the oil be coming out the oil pan.
Oh,
Right, man.
For real.
So it's that type of, you know, stuff. So they feel like, oh, he's from the United States or they're from the US. And if they're saying South Africa is good, finally somebody can hear us. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like it's different when it's coming from them versus when it's coming from somebody who has been supposedly in the greatest country on earth. And we're saying, yeah, finally somebody listened. Big old factuals, right? Finally somebody heard us.
Exactly.
And we heard you.
Have you and the family been to any other countries in Africa?
Yep. But we here.
Right.
You want to share some of the places, you know, that you've been? Oh, go ahead.
We've been on the beach in Zanzibar, overlooking the Indian Ocean. I done swam in the Indian Ocean.
Okay.
We've been. I was in Egypt. We've been to Morocco.
Oh, wow.
She been to Mali, Senegal.
Wow. Okay, so y'all been around.
Oh, yeah,
Y'all class.
Do you
Yeah.
plan on, this is not on the maps, do you plan on going to, other, like just kind of exploring other parts? Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna do a little bit.
Yeah.
We
I
keep
gotta go to Rwanda in July with my job, so I'll be in
Awesome.
Rwanda, and hopefully I'll get to go to Mozambique and Zambia, maybe Malawi this year.
Ooh,
Hopefully, but we'll
nice.
see.
yeah,
We'll see
yeah.
what's gonna
Nice. I
happen in my
love
life.
it.
So I'm trying to get to Ethiopia. I'm trying to get to Nigeria. So but we here.
No, seriously, he really does. You need to open a comedy, like for real. You need to open a comedy act. Seriously, I'll be right there because you are funny naturally. Like it just comes natural.
Oh man.
Seriously.
But yeah, I want to get to Nigeria because
Yeah.
like truth be told, that's really our answer. Like we love South Africa, but Black Americans come from West Africa. We
Yes.
come from Senegal. Yeah, we come from Senegal, Ghana, Nigeria, Angola, Cameroon, Congo, Mali. Yeah, so these are the places. Okay.
I'm sorry. Keep going, damn.
Well, that's what we from over there. So
Exactly.
it's beautiful to be back on the continent of our ancestors,
Right.
and to be in South Africa, to be amongst our African brothers and sisters, right? And keep in mind these borders that were created. That's
Right.
colonization, right? Those are borders were created by colonization. So it's beautiful to be on the continent. But I do want to get to Nigeria, where we did our DNA, and 33% of my DNA comes from Nigeria, and then some of it comes from Angola and Congo, or whatever have you, and then there's some of it that comes from Southern Africa, Southern East Africa,
right. Did
different parts.
you do the African one, or did you do like just the ancestry one?
We did 23andMe.
Okay. We're going to be working on the African ancestry one, hoping that it show up Sierra Leone because
they're giving out citizenship.
Right. We'll take it.
So we're gonna start there first.
Then we'll be in the what do you call it?
ECWAS. I don't know if you heard about the ECWAS.
ECWAS.
Yeah, the ECWAS, like the passport that gets you
through all the countries. Yeah, I keep telling people though, they're giving y'all them passports and making y'all citizens, and in 10 years we'll be talking about y'all gotta pay taxes. They'll be hitting y'all like y'all gotta pay taxes. You're a citizen now. You gotta pay taxes.
I'm saying I got money.
Yeah.
Hey, this Black American don't have no money.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so here's a question. If you could pick one. Okay, one like place you actually definitely, well, you already said it. You said Nigeria, right? Both of y'all said Nigeria. So you already answered that question.
I think Nigeria is more your thing.
Yeah.
Okay, what's yours, Adrian? You could pick one.
I didn't get enough time there, and so I think I would want to go back to Senegal.
Okay.
I was there for like a really short amount of time, and I was really impressed with the car. So I would like to go back to Senegal. It's very peaceful. It's very Islamic as well.
True.
It's on the coast, so it has that beauty. It seems like a really cool place. So I would actually like to go back to Senegal.
Awesome.
Man, I want to go to Lagos and be thugging because it's so dangerous out there. I might feel right at home. I might be like, oh man, it's too out there, man.
I don't know if I'm built for Lagos. Lagos look crowded, hot. There was like too many people on the street. I was like,
oh man.
Oh, our sister just did her African ancestry, so she did it on her channel. This is her channel, Shoe Bar. So definitely check her channel out. She makes shoes and everything. I can't wait till she say orders. So definitely check our sister out. But she did her video and just kind of walked us through the African ancestry.
Did she get Sierra Leone?
No. She was just doing the kit. She just
Okay.
did. She
Okay.
hasn't got her results back yet. Yeah, and Res Grade 8 did his as well. So we're still waiting. He'll be
That
going.
boy from the Congo, I can tell you already. I can look at him.
Yeah,
From the
Yeah.
Congo.
No, he
Yeah, that
said.
boy from the Congo.
yeah. Well, we did ours, and I might take a trip to China since they say I'm part Chinese. She always messing with me.
Wow.
Yeah, that was just the accessory.
It say 1%.
Yeah, kind of like.
She told me she said I look Chinese now. Ever since that's it. We did the DNA test. She ain't never talked like that. She's like, oh yeah, you do look.
Yeah, I
Chinese.
kind of looked. I'm like,
Look Chinese. You know the original Chinese was black people. Go look them up. They still exist in the depots.
I heard that.
Right.
Yeah.
I heard.
Yeah, they was black. You can look them up. They got them in there. They don't show us that on the TV.
So,
They black Chinese people. They got the Chinese features. He's that boy from the Congo. He looked like I'm telling you from the Congo. Watch when he do it, y'all be like, dang, how Doc knew that, man. The ancestors told me. But let me see what was Adrian's DNA result. You look too South African.
she said,
South
nope.
Africa didn't show up.
Now watch me to come right on with me to Nigeria.
Okay.
Quit playing.
Stop playing.
Get your citizenship.
They be saying Adrian look like anything though. They be talking about yeah, she look Ethiopian.
Not
No,
that
yeah.
either.
Look,
Yeah, she
I
can
just
go
need-
for them. She can. Yeah, you can blend in. Definitely. For what he just said.
Ethiopian.
Yeah.
Man, they kept listen, man. My best friend, he's from Eritrea, which is a country right outside of Ethiopia, and they used to be one country.
Yeah.
So he's Habisha is the name of his group, Habisha. And they used, I'm telling you, when Adrian be amongst them, she fit right in. She just looked just like them people, right? Yeah. And I just knew when she took her DNA, they was gonna come back and say she was 32% Ethiopian. Man, it came back. She was white and black.
Ah, there it is.
It was like,
it might show up on the African one.
The biggest percentage was Nigeria. That was the largest percentage. The next largest single percentage was British Irish.
Oh, there it is.
I was like, oh Lord.
Yeah. Hey, you should get they should cut you one of them checks from Britain.
I'm trying to tell you.
Man, look, I was up there looking. Can I get
British?
Yeah. Hey, you gonna get a British check, French, and American.
There you go.
You already got the proof right here.
Oh my goodness. Now speaking of Rwanda, you say you're going next. What'd you say? Next couple
in July?
Okay, so we'll have a family on, which I'll show you all. We'll have a family on next Sunday that lives in Rwanda. So look out for that. Yeah. So
oh, that'll be cool. We gotta watch.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, I'm excited about Rwanda.
So she's
Lord. Oh man.
Come on, don't do that. Don't do that.
No, we can't sleep with the enemy
No,
now. Can't sleep with the enemy.
Colored, that's all. She just colored. She just an American colored. That's all.
Adrian, she got the big colonizer money.
Oh man.
Don't make me expose all y'all's white percentages.
Okay.
Listen, I was 86% African, and then I had like 11% European, and then I had some old straight. I had Sri Lanka. I had
weird stuff.
I had Philippines. I said, man,
all over the world.
Pakistan. Yeah, I had Pakistan. I said, well, where are these people coming from?
For real.
Who was getting around like that? You know?
Somebody made the rules back in the day.
That's that white man blood.
That's that white man.
Yeah, that's that white man blood.
Hey, my papa was a Rolling Stone. Ain't no telling what was going on.
Okay,
So.
well, what's going on over here? Okay, not right now. Wait, what's that? Okay, my computer doing some weird stuff.
They're
Hold
trying
on.
to sell us stuff on
Hold on now, give us a few minutes.
Take your time.
too much. Well, y'all plan on doing the African ancestry because they say it get real like deep down in the roots, the African one.
I might.
Man, listen.
I want some citizenship.
All right.
Maybe I'll come back with Sierra Leone too.
I'm trying
So,
to tell you, you never know. I got
it'll
connected
be
with
cool
that.
to know the information or whatever have you, but I'm listen, I'm South African now. I'm
Okay.
I'm trying to get adopted into the Zulus or the Kosa. I'm trying to get adopted. Yeah.
Take me.
Take me in. Yeah,
I want to know though. I want to know like I really want to get down deep into it. You know, I want to know my roots. Because a lot of people say I look. What's the word? Aruba. How you say? Aruba. Yeah. So I just really want to get deep down into it. You know, to know more about me because they've taken so much. At least I have to have something, get my control back. You know, so.
Like the sweet of the juice.
Right, you took the words right out of my mouth. My dad too.
Yeah. What's going on?
Yeah, wherever he laid his head.
I might have some Afghanistan in the family. I don't know.
To be adopted. You heard that?
They need to do a ceremony in order for me to be adopted. I'm with it.
There you go.
Let's do it.
I'm with it. I mean, what kind of ceremony? Yeah, what I gotta do?
Ceremonies in Ghana. You know?
Yeah.
And they do it in Sierra Leone too. The same thing.
Yeah, let me do a little ceremony, man.
For real.
You know, the DJ gets a little DJ. It is.
Not a
DJ. Make sure y'all have his seasoning now on deck now. His seasoning now. You gotta have that Tony in there now.
Yeah. That Tony got me on that blood pressure medicine. I got that Tony.
You're gonna have to get you some Dash. Dash will have to be your new friend. Dash.
Yeah.
So you missed that gumbo.
All right, this on you, honey. We getting down to the nitty gritty. Finna wrap it on up.
Oh, yeah?
This one right here.
Oh, what opportunities has opened up for you and your wife since being an SA?
Man, just the opportunity of being here, being amongst the majority, being amongst the people. Like, let's be very, very kind of, frank. We wasn't like doing bad in New Orleans. We were relatively, successful Black people. So, if it were just about like a financial opportunity, we would stay in the States. It was more about the ability to connect to the continent, to connect with the people, to live in the majority, to leave some of the stress of the rat race and the unprovoked European aggression back there in the United States. And really, it was a fulfillment of a racist prophecy. When I was a child, white boy told me, "You don't like it, go back to Africa." And I said,
"They always say, yeah."
I held that for years. I held that for years, and I got a cake baked for you. Yeah. And now I'm in Africa. Like I remember one time on my Facebook page, it was about 3-4 years ago, maybe 5 years ago. White boy told me the same thing. Go back to Africa. I set up a GoFundMe and posted it on his page and said, "Man, now you owe me. Go on and send me back." You know what I'm saying? You want me to leave, sponsor the trip,
right?
Yeah.
Put that money up. But with that being said, man, like the opportunity is more about the experience of being here on the continent of my ancestors, right? And so I saw the sister say she got a book. I got a book coming out called Dreams of My Ancestors.
Oh,
and why did I title it that? What does that title mean? There's a shirt by a brother from New Orleans. His name is Brandon. What's the painter? B Mike. They call him B Mike, and the shirt says, "I am my ancestors' wildest dreams." And I thought that was powerful.
Yes.
But then I started thinking about what my ancestors really dreamed about. And maybe that second generation, they dreamed about freedom. But see that first brother that got on that boat and he had them chains on him? He got on that boat and he was training these people. They using the bathroom on the floor. They getting fed stuff. He dreaming of going back to wherever he came from. Whatever village, whatever town, whatever community. And when he got to the States and they had him picking cotton, working fields, and they was beating him, every night he went to sleep, he was dreaming, he would dream about running to see the woman that he loved, that he had been separated from. He was dreaming of seeing his mother, or maybe even a child that he had that he no longer saw. So I am not eating food, practicing the religion he used to practice. And he lived in America. He died with those dreams, but the dream didn't die.
Right.
So now I'm fulfilling the dreams of my ancestors.
That's right.
That ancestor,
Very well said.
fulfilling the dream. He's on the other side, as Big Mama and them would say. He's in the glory now. He done moved on to glory, but he is celebrating. He is rejoicing because somebody finally fulfilled his dream. And that's the opportunity that we get here in South Africa.
Wow, man, I almost cried.
I felt that. Listen, Adrian, hot girl, listen, man, you just, woo.
I hear this all the time.
I don't even know what to say. How you, girl,
I hear this all the time. So I'm like,
listen, if he came to you like he just did that speech, no wonder you grabbed to him quick.
Now we know what happened.
Now we know what
he's saying like, let's go get a fish plate somewhere. He told y'all he had to grow.
I showed them.
I would love to see how you rap to her, how you got her, because boy, look at you.
Tell you got the game for him, bro. Tell her you. It's still
He'll be a great salesperson too, boy, because you be like this. You be stunned. You don't know what to say after that.
Oh man.
Where the paper at? I'm done. No need to say nothing else.
So they'll make
for you an animal skin bracelet. That's the vibes of the ceremony.
Okay.
All right.
They'll make you the animal skin. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Are those DNA tests accurate? Well, yeah, they're accurate. They connected me to family members I knew I was related to.
Yeah, that's true.
Exactly.
Yeah, they connected me to family members. I said, oh, I know that Negro. That's my cousin.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
Right.
See, people. So the thing about it, what people try to do is when they spread propaganda and falsehood, the first thing you have to do is try to discredit facts.
Right.
DNA got Negroes off rape charges.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? DNA didn't put people in jail after 30 years because the science is the science.
Right.
But what happens is people attempt to discredit it in order to present a new narrative that is not based on facts. When I took my DNA test, then people didn't know whether I was black, white, red, or green. I spit in a cup.
Exactly. Right.
Swab my teeth. And then people connected me to cousins. So you want to ask me? I'm sorry, Black Shell. I'm not trying to scream at you, brother or sister. What I'm saying is, yes, they're accurate. If then people were able to connect me to family members, then people don't know who I was. I didn't put my name on this stuff. My name ain't no Asad El Malik. You know what I'm saying? That's my Muslim name. My name Lionel.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? That's the name my daddy gave me. My daddy named Lionel. You understand what I'm saying? People ain't know who I was, but they was able to connect Asad El Malik. That ain't my government name. They connected their kinfolk that I've been knowing since I was a child. My big mama told me they was related to me. And that's the most accurate genealogy you can get as a black person. When your big mama say that's your family, that's your family.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it says what, like 99.9% accurate? Something
right.
Yeah.
We only question his accuracy unless you in paternity court and you know that ain't your child. Then
I am not the father.
You know what the question? Yeah.
Jerry Springer. Hey, bring on Jerry Springer, right?
Yeah. Them they ain't acting. I mean, because they got this narrative going around talking about black people are Native Americans and all that type of stuff. So again, in order to make that narrative feasible, you gotta discredit the science. You gotta do whole lot of bunch of mental gymnastics in order to make that true. You
Mhm.
know. So
Right.
they say, "Oh, don't believe the DNA." Well, I'm gonna believe what my big mama said.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? And the DNA connected me to people that my big mama told me was my people.
Right.
The same last name. We grew up together. I know. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
yeah, that's why I don't like to get into that. You
Gotcha.
know.
Got to put two and two together.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh, and it actually has helped a lot of people, connect,
Yeah.
connect, with family and things like that. And that's why I said I'm going to do the African ancestry because it's important to me, because I still feel, that puzzle needs to be filled. So
And it's always updating and telling
right.
you like
It
new
is.
connections you may have with different people too. I mean, if you
Well, that's one thing that it did. It connected me with people that I knew, but then it connected me. Now watch this. It connected me with a Nigerian brother.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, she was connected to somebody in Liberia. I was
Wow.
connected to somebody in Nigeria. Like he was like 23 years old. He was.
yeah,
Let me say
Wow.
this. He wasn't in Nigeria. He was in the United States, but
Mm.
he's Nigerian. Like
Wow.
from there. Yeah.
yeah,
So
our bloodline so mixed up over here, man. It just ain't no telling who we connected to over there.
Exactly.
yeah.
And the question we always get, well, you moving over there? Who you know? Who
Yeah.
you know over there? I said, I'm sure I got family that I don't know in Africa
I
that I will meet.
done had other black people say, if I tell them I'm moving to Africa, they say, "Why are you African?" I'm like, looking at you African too.
Exactly.
I ain't gonna say what I want to say right now because
So, right.
I tell them
But
like,
listen, I don't get so. Here's the thing, and Adrian said we got to go in a few minutes. But here's the thing.
okay.
Our people have been taught to hate Africa. Period. Right. When you go back and I asked my daddy for the documentary, I said, "Well, what did you learn about Africa growing up?" This is an old man. This is an old man. He said, "All that we saw on TV." But what you saw on TV? Tarzan in the jungle. Nothing good. So why would you want to associate yourself with something that the propaganda has told you was horrible? They're poor. They are okay. I'll answer that question too. They're poor. They starving. They got the swollen bellies and their nose running, and they got flies just all around them. You say, I don't want nothing to do with that. In fact, you will say so much that I don't want anything to do with it. I'm glad the white man brought me over here to America as slaves. At least I ain't over there in Africa, right? So I know the lies and the damage that have been done to our people. So it's best to counter the narrative with stuff like a YouTube platform so they can see the truth. And we can break through some of that mentality. I remember walking through the mall here in SA and I went live. And then one of my partners from New Orleans, he said, "Man, look at the mall. It's all clean and they got lights." That's how much brainwashing has taken place to black Americans. But we cannot disparage them. We have to educate and elevate them. We got to reach them and say, "Look, bro, let me show you something different." And the more you hit them with the truth, the more the Quran talks about smashing truth and smashing falsehood in the head with a rock and crumbling it, right? And falsehood will become a forever vanishing thing. Truth is the only thing that kills falsehood. So we got to show them the truth. We got to tell them the truth. Right? And everybody's not going to hear. Some people going to have blinders on. Some people, the ancestors are calling, and God himself is putting it on their hearts to return to the continent. Some people, he's not calling them. Some people, they have a mission in the United States. Some people, they have a mission in Colombia or in Brazil, and they don't necessarily have to come back to the continent, but all of our people have to be connected. We have to be connected in order for us to, because let the white people connected. When Joe Biden was elected, you know what he did? When he went to the Queen, he goes to visit Europe. He went to the Queen and met the Queen. Well, why? Wasn't they our enemies? Didn't the United States break away from the UK? But they still see themselves as one people. They are connected.
Yeah.
Right.
And so Europe and the what they call it, the G8, and all of them people, G7, and
Yeah.
all of them people, they move as a unit.
Mhm.
They do what's best for Europeans and white people worldwide. And that's what we got to move like a unit. We
Exactly.
got to connect with our black people. And it's 80 million Afro-Brazilians. There's more black Brazilians than there are black Americans, right? We got to connect with our people. We got to connect with our people in the Caribbean, Jamaica, Haiti, Trinidad and Tobago, all them people. That's our people. The only difference between them and us is with a boat let them off.
Yeah.
We got to connect with them. And then we educate our people. And in 20 years, 30 years, you and I may not be alive to see it. But our children's children will have a different perspective on Africa. And when the little white boy tell our grandchildren go back to Africa, he gonna say, man, you ain't said nothing but a word.
Exactly. Yeah.
You ain't
Saying
said
like
nothing
it's
but
a
a word.
bad thing. And they over there.
Our agents say we only got 2 questions. That's it now because they gotta go. So,
Oh,
how is the healthcare system in South Africa?
South Africa has one of the best healthcare systems. It's comparable to the West, to anything in the United States. You have health insurance here, and you have public hospitals, you have private hospitals, you have great. Remember, it was South African scientists who identified what was the Omicron?
I think so.
The Omicron variant of the coronavirus.
Oh,
You have grade A scientists in South Africa, grade A medical systems in South Africa. You have some of the best cancer doctors in the world in South Africa.
Now,
Yeah.
the same cost as here.
Right.
What's the cost though? Like
if you don't have
It's cheaper,
insurance.
definitely cheaper.
Yeah.
okay.
Oh, it's definitely cheaper. You can almost survive here without insurance because you could probably pay out of pocket for most things. Now, maybe not like a surgery, but you talking about a checkup to go to your doctor, get some medicine. Yeah, you could probably pay out of pocket for that.
Okay.
But yeah,
And they
but
have women like the woman visit. They have that there, gynecologists. Okay.
yeah,
These questions that other people may have. So.
They got all that.
I feel like you missed something. They even got
I'm sorry.
what is it? Like urgent cares and.
Oh, okay.
Watch this.
Oh, go ahead.
They even have home visits.
Yeah, they do.
Oh, really? Oh, I love
Y'all
that.
don't remember that because we wasn't even alive when doctors used to come to your house. Our baby got sick and he had the flu. And it was on a Sunday. We called the doctor. She made a home visit.
Yeah.
Wow.
And she was black.
And it was a black woman.
Yeah.
And it wasn't nothing but $75.
Right.
Wow. Oh, that's unheard of. Forget about that. Okay, this is it, Adrian. I don't want to shut it down because I know I have to go. What advice would you give
for 4 or 5 hours? He's a mess.
Go ahead. What advice would you give families that may be on the fence about moving to South Africa? It depends on who that family is. Have you visited? If you haven't visited, the advice I'm gonna give you is to come and check it out.
Right.
If you have visited, I would see what you on the fence about. Is it finances? Is it that you're gonna miss home? Is it that because it's not a culture shock by any means. So, but my advice to those: come visit, come see, come experience South Africa. If you decide you want to move, as my mama said, if you're gonna do it right. Make sure you have money saved. Make sure you have, if you can have some sort of income coming in monthly or weekly or whatever have you, so that you can sustain yourself here, so that you don't get here, enjoy the life, but then run out of the ability to provide for yourself, and you have to end up going back to the United States, because that makes sense. You got to go back to your comfort zone or whatever have you. Yeah. But so I would say, plan. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Plan. Understand that you are a visitor in these people's country, as welcoming as they are, as much as they love you and they want you here. Don't come over here with that American, I need to change this. This needs to be better, whatever. They have enough intelligent, thoughtful people here who recognize whatever struggle that you think you see. They've already recognized it, and they are working on a plan. Furthermore, they don't need nobody coming over here playing savior, playing, with that white savior mentality. We're going over here. We're going to help the people. These Negroes driving Bentleys, they don't need your help, Negro. You need their help. You know what I'm saying?
From them,
And you've been driving a '93 Toyota Corolla, and then what you gonna help them with?
Yeah.
It's the truth.
We're looking around like, man, I gotta get like them.
They got They got 3-story houses with living help, and you talking about I'm coming over there to help? Who?
Help yourself.
And I didn't walk out, brother. Can I get a few dollars? Can I please?
No, and then there's poverty in South Africa. That's not. I'm playing. There's poverty in South Africa. There's people doing bad, but they listen. South Africa even has welfare.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
They even got a welfare system.
Oh wow.
For citizens who are unable to pay bills and we got food stamp. Well, not food. They call them grants or whatever have you. This is a well organized nation. You understand what I'm saying? So I would just say, come visit, check it out, experience it, and get in where you fit in. Try your best to get with locals. I mean, we have a lot of African American friends in our circle, but we also have the locals in our circle. Because they're gonna teach you the culture, like the slight cultural differences that you like. This brother was on our channel recently, and he was talking about how there's a like in America or in English, your uncle is just your uncle, right? So whether it's your mama's brother or your daddy's brother, that's just your uncle. Here they have different words for them, and they play different roles. So like if your daddy were to die, your daddy's brother plays a certain role. If your mama would have died, then your mama's brother plays a different type of role, right? And so uncle means there's a little more layer to what that word means, or what that position, I should say, means. So there are some cultural differences that you'll begin to learn as you live here. But for the most part, you can navigate your life day to day without any like cultural confusion, right? Without any hindrances. Really, you're living in, like I said, like Houston or Atlanta or something like that, big old city, lots of cars on the highway, that type of stuff.
Okay. Well, thank y'all so much. This has been beautiful. Appreciate you all taking time out of your busy schedule to join us today.
Absolutely.
And we're looking forward to meeting you all in person one of these days soon. So
soon come. Inshallah. It was a pleasure. Thank y'all so much. Y'all have a good one.
You too. Yeah. Don't y'all go anywhere, everybody else. Bye. All right. Hey y'all. I hope I did well with trying to read everybody's comments, tried to put in the questions as much as I could. We appreciate you all joining us. We appreciate Dr. Asad and Adrian, sorry, joining us for this interview. It has been beautiful. You all have been beautiful. It wouldn't be anything without the audience, right?
That's
without the audience being here with us. And if you need any services, detailed information from them, their website is oneawaysa.com. Definitely go over, take a look at the services that they offer. And hey, get it done. And also you can follow their YouTube channel, Asad El Malik. If you are not already on their channel, subscribe as well. Let me see. I want to see what else we have in the chat. Let's see. Asad family came to Africa for right reasons. May your stay continue. Yes, for them to stay continue blessed. All right. Let's see. Okay, that was my question. Just trying to play catch up. South Africa is one of the top destinations for health tourism. Thank you. Yeah, we're learning through this whole journey that we're on, that we definitely have to make sure we look into the healthcare system, because here over in the West, what they've done to us, we have elements, we have things that's going on. So we need to make sure that there is health, good health care in place
Affordable.
and
That word
affordable.
affordable.
Right, affordable. Right, Dr. Sai, we have to move as a unit. Yes, to unity. I agree. The healthcare system in SA is good. Okay, even the first heart transplant was done in SA.
There you
That's
go.
awesome. Beautiful. Please, guys, as you're leaving, please make sure you hit the like button, guys. I greatly appreciate it. Please, so that we can share this information with all of our people. The first middle ear transplant was recently performed by
Well,
I can't pronounce it. I'm sorry. A Black South
Professor.
African. That is amazing. Thank you for sharing those details with us. This was a great live, full of great information. Thank you, sis. So we really do try. I'm really trying to connect some more interviews with other people next week, guys. Which once I leave here and put all the information, I'm going to put all their information, their website, YouTube channel. Once all of this is over with, I'm going to plug that information in, and as well as his email. If you like to email him as well, I'll have that information in here. Once I'm done with that, then I will have the next guest information up. So make sure you have your notifications on, guys. Go to it's kind of next to subscribe where the bell is. Click on the bell and click all, so you're able to see all my videos, because I've noticed they have personalized. So if it's on personalized, you won't get all of my information. And that way you're notified when we do another interview with the family from Rwanda. Okay. Look out for that. Let's see what else we have here. Enjoyed it. Thank you. Oh, thank you so much for coming. Greatly appreciate it. Thanks, African Queen, One Giselle and Rob, man. Also to our SA family. Yes, thank you so much, guys. Anything else you'd like to say, honey?
No, as usual, I thank everybody for showing up, taking time out. I know because there's a lot of time.
Yes.
And I applaud everyone for standing there with us and listening to everything that was said. Yes. Hopefully you got a lot out of it like we did. And stay tuned. There's more to come.
Yep. All right, guys. Have a good night, afternoon, morning, wherever you are. And we'll see you on the next video. Bye. I gotta move all this. Hold on, guys. I'm in this. Okay, there we go.